Medicare, and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for president.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, and here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about Champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. It is time to recap week 1 in college football, and week 1 of the NFL has arrived. Welcome into the program, ladies and gentlemen, and we're all prepared for it. Last night was just another example of how Florida State did not want to keep Jeremy's interest all year long.
Happy lunchtime to everybody on this planet not named Mike Norvell and DJ Uiagalelei. And I hope you both got bad gas station hot dogs and reaped the benefits of that. Because that's how you made me feel last night. Just a steady pull of angina. We're going to talk about that. And I'm not going to lie to you. I went low-key power move of the North Carolina Tar Heels, are affiliates of this show. So I threw on a Tar Heel shirt to show my quiet disdain for Florida State. We will open the second hour with Florida State, so you will have to hang around for that. Because I don't actually think Florida State's the biggest story of the weekend. I wasn't surprised. My achy, breaky, no mistakey was Boston College. Did I think they were going to win? Maybe not. How many plays of that game do you think I watched?
I would say 17.
Too high.
Too high. When did you know?
I watched one play. And it was, they were down 28-13. They had the ball. It was 4th and 16.
Oh, you didn't even turn it on till late.
Nope.
Okay.
No, because I knew. When I say I didn't doubt for a second that Boston College was going to make a game of this, I'm not kidding. You go back to Friday. I told you. I didn't even really want to dip my toe into the water because I was in a good mood. First stop of the Living the Dream tour went, thank you for all the people that reacted and did things to our social media content. We will be in Tennessee this week, or in Charlotte for Tennessee, NC State this week. But I still, even with what happened to my team, I don't think that is the story. There is a story, and you and I bared witness to it up close and personal.
Yep. Living the Dream tour stopped down in Atlanta for Clemson and Georgia, and number 1 Georgia had their way in the second half with Clemson.
They had their way in the first half. They just couldn't score.
Yeah, couldn't get into the end zone.
Let me ask you a question. Did you at any point, look at that and say Georgia's not going to win this game?
No.
even when you got stuck at a hot dog stand for the better part of a quarter, I felt so bad for you.
Yeah.
I really did.
I spent the entire first half almost in line at the concession stand.
He left with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter and came back with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. I was literally sending out Amber Alerts because I thought Tank has been trafficked of some kind.
Look, Mercedes-Benz Dome is everything I was sold that it was. It's beautiful, immaculate inside and out. There was no real trouble getting into the stadium.
Fans are great.
The lines were big, yes, but you expect them to be when they're trying to pack in 76,000 people into one building right at kickoff. Everything went pretty smoothly getting into the stadium. The sight lines were awesome. That's part of the reason it took me an entire half to get to the concession stand and back, is because I did spend a lot of the time just standing at the rail where you could watch, because after Georgia kicked the first field goal, I left and started the trek down there, and then I walked around the corner, and somehow we got the ball back, and we were driving down again to kick another field goal, so I sat and watched that possession from that vantage point, which was really, really cool. And then you walk around another part of the stadium, and there's another sight line where you can just standing room only at the thing, just watch. And then they ran out of hot dogs. When the hot dogs are $2, they sell a lot of them.
Yeah. Every stadium in the league, you should take a note from the Mercedes-Benz Dome, because you have a lot of people like Tank and I, and how to put this delicately, we're fat. And we will show up and show out when it comes to eating.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to over-plentish the hot dogs.
Yes. Need more hot dogs. But it was a good game.
I'm going to say this, and I mean it. I'm going to say this, and I 100% mean it.
Okay.
If I was the AD at Clemson, I would pull Dabo Swinney in my office today, and I would tell him, you have two choices. Either you're going to get with the times, or you're going to get your crap into a bag and get it out of here.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't going to go well. App State plays Clemson this week. It's in Death Valley. That's a 17-point lean. Clemson's a 17-point favorite. Tell me you wouldn't bet an aggressive amount on that.
Yes.
I know you're higher on App State than I am.
Yes. To keep that closer, yes.
I'm not sure they don't go down there and beat them.
I don't know if I'd go that far, because here's
what do they do well?
Defense. I think their defense is good.
Well, that's funny, because after halftime, when Mike Bobo figured out, hey, maybe I should stop going east and west, and I'm going to press it down the field, north and south on you, they had no answer.
Mm-hmm.
None. Georgia doesn't have that guy, the guy that you better have a 5-star to line up on. That is how you would beat Appalachian State, is that you just have a guy that they can't cover, because they have a lot of dudes.
Yep.
Clemson looked way more like Furman against Ole Miss than they look like an actual power. You don't have a quarterback. You don't have guys that can get open. Your offensive coordinator is out of his damn mind, and I thought it for 4 solid quarters of you don't stand a prayer. You walked into this with no shot, because your quarterback is terrible. This is a read and react offense. Cade Klubnik can't read, and his reaction time is about what mine was after partying with those Georgia guys at the tailgate with the Dale's Pale Ale. I would tell Dabo. Because, look, the bad thing about the world we live in now is that it is really easy to keep receipts.
Mm-hmm.
So all these times that Dabo's come out and said, well, the reason we don't use the portal is because those guys couldn't play at Clemson. I give you 100 dudes that I saw over the course of 3 days. They wouldn't just play at Clemson. They're so much better than anything you put out there. It's pathetic. Phil Maffa would be the 4th running back at Georgia, and they were missing their top 2.
Mm-hmm.
Their number 1 running back was a guy that's blown out his knee twice, and he was better than anything you had, and it wasn't even close. Carson Beck continues to do that thing that I have railed on him for, which is you can do the special, you cannot consistently do the mundane. In the first half, if you didn't really watch what you were looking at, you thought, oh, man, these teams are close. Georgia shot themselves in the foot so many times that it was pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
That game could have been 60-0, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least. At halftime, I look up and go, this doesn't feel like a 6-0 game. This feels like a 30-0 game. And then the second half happened, and adjustments happened, and and Dabo Swinney showed you everything I've told you for 3 years. He cannot adjust. He's not a good coach. He never has been. He won the mediocre ACC when Florida State was down, Louisville was new, all of these different things happened that worked in his favor. And I'm here to tell you, you ain't going to win this way. And this is going to be a pretty common theme because he ain't the only one I'm going to say this about. He's the only one that thinks he has to recruit nothing but high school kids and they have to be in the system and this is how you win. That's called foreshadowing of what I'm going to say about my team at the start of the next hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's every one of those things in reverse. Dabo Swinney's not a good coach, period. He was a good Johnny Rah-Rah for a while. Here's the problem with Johnny Rah-Rah. It takes everything to go right. Georgia had to be down. In large part, they were. Florida State has to be down. In large part, they were. Because you're not getting a lot of recruits out of Greenville, South Carolina. You're not getting a lot of recruits out of Anderson, South Carolina. You're not getting a lot of recruits out of South Carolina, period. You can get 3- and 4-star guys. Georgia's pulling 5s.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be able to hit Metro Atlanta, and you got to be able to hit Florida. Guess what? Did you see the reaction of the Florida recruits that were sitting right there on the end line when Miami's guys came up and started shaking their hands? Like, man, that feels like it's a lot more fun. What I saw, and I mean, I'm in the building, so I'm seeing things that you're not. I'm watching the sidelines. Clemson looked like they were at a funeral. And then the sheer fact that you came to do the alma mater thing after you got your brains blistered out of your head is the most tone-deaf thing I've ever seen. The Clemson fans that I walked by were embarrassed that you were doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then you add what Michael Meadows just said in our YouTube comments. Tyler from Spartanburg's on line 1.
Yep.
Do you realize how bad of a look it is that you came out and did that the week after you said we're not going to take calls anymore? What that means is that you live in a bubble. And Clemson, I get it. I understand wanting to be good. I do. This ain't the dude. It's not. Dave in our YouTube chat said that Clemson defense is legit. No, it's not. I watched it for 4 quarters. Oh, they were good in the first half. Go back and watch the tape. Mike Bobo ran the same play about 6 times. Tank was almost catatonic by the time he walked away. That's why he went to the concession stand.
I was going to say, another reason why I avoided the entire first half, because Mike Bobo was doing that damn thing that Mike Bobo does of playing with his food.
See, the beauty of being in a stadium and being up high is that I can watch all the things that they don't show you on television. Receivers running wide open. The problem is that it's not in the progression. So Carson Beck was getting one read. If that was covered, he's dumping it off to a running back that's running east and west. Didn't mean the receivers weren't open, because they were. I saw it over and over and over again. And I told Tank, give it a minute. They'll figure this out, because when they really look at the tape, when they look at the stills, they're going to realize they can't cover us down the field. So all I have to do is start sending that guy. I don't have to hit home runs over and over again. I got to pull the top off that defense, because right now they don't think Carson's going to let this go. They think one-on-one they can defend these guys because we don't have the elite guy. You can't. And in the second half, when Georgia adjusted and Clemson didn't, it really showed you what they had. And so now I'm just going to say this as clear as I can. Clemson, you got 2 choices. You want to be a national power? If you want to be a national power, it ain't with Dabo Swinney, period. I've stood on this for 3 years, and I got news for you. Tank, you tell me if I'm out to lunch here. I ain't been wrong for 1 second of it. No. I saw this coming years ago.
It snowballed down the hill. He lost all of his he lost all of his assistants. Right, Tony Elliott and Brent Venables are gone. He lost all of the top recruits. I had Deshaun Watson, then went to Trevor Lawrence, and then it just fell. Like you is it luck? Is it luck that they got back to back? Or hell, that was 3 quarterbacks like that. Taj Boyd and then
who was good
Deshaun?
In the South?
Do
okay,
what?
So when Clemson was really good, who was good in the South? And look, I'm not telling you Dave's wrong, because his follow-up comment was the defense wore down and had nothing. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You asked the defense to do something nobody could do because you couldn't move the ball. That's the problem, is that football is a cohesive thing. You have to have if you're going to lean on your defense, you have to have an offense that can get first downs and keep them off the field. They can't. And I'm not saying that's not a talented defense. I'm saying it's not talented to hold up to what you're putting out offensively.
Yes.
I'll give that to Dave. I should have clarified how I was saying it. Sometimes I get on a good rant. I don't necessarily explain it well. Kudos to Dave. If I had a bell, I would give you a bell ding. But my bell has been abducted.
No, I felt that was the only solace that Tiger fans had at the end of the day was, well, defense played with them for a half. And, while they took advantage in the second half, but we were on the field the entire game.
5 full years. 5 full years. That's where you're at. You have not been able to add a quarterback.
Yep.
Because that disaster that was playing at Florida State last night, that was your first solution.
Mm-hmm.
That was your first solution. You ran him out of town for Cade Klubnik, who, I'm going to be honest with you, they're the same dude. They're the exact same guy.
Ain't no doubt.
The 2 quarterbacks he actually was able to recruit, hey, where were they from? When he recruited Trevor Lawrence and when he recruited Deshaun Watson, where are they from?
Trevor was from Georgia when he in Cartersville. No, he was in Tennessee.
He's from Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Deshaun's from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the good team in the South when you were doing this? Who were you competing with?
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama recruits nationally. I'm talking about who's the power in the South that recruits the South and can show up and show you all the love you want to.
Well, Georgia was the only one.
Georgia wasn't any good. This was 10 years ago. They were 7-6 at this point. You hadn't gone Kirby Smart.
Mm-hmm.
This was still the back end of Mark Richt, who had 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel career-wise. He didn't have any competition. Florida State was awful because the attrition with Jimbo Fisher had already started, and he was barely recruiting. He still won a national title, which to this day is the most shocking thing I think I've ever seen. Miami was down. Florida was down because Urban had left. You didn't have any competition. Now look around. Now look where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State was back there. That's contentious now. Tennessee looks like a whole lot of fun. Georgia's the best program in the nation. Miami looked like a whole whale of fun in the swamp on Saturday. Oh, so what you're saying is when you weren't the only pretty girl at the bar, all of a sudden we had to listen to you talk, and we figured out that you weren't nearly as fun to do anything but look at. We got a little deeper. We got past that first date, and we realized, Dabo's a high school coach. That's what he is. Because that works in high school. I got 16-year-old kids, and I can Johnny rah-rah you. Now you have a bunch of guys that are looking around going, I could be making copious amounts of money elsewhere, but we don't do NIL here at Clemson. At least not to the level everybody else does. I need a quarterback, but we can't dip into the devil's transfer portal. Oh, that would be awful. Man, it would have been a lot more fun for you if you had Cam Ward, wouldn't it? It would have been a lot more fun for you if you had Will Howard. It'd be a lot more fun for you if you had Dylan Gabriel. Didn't even look.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Recruited Cade. We stick with Cade. And you live by that sword, you die by that sword. And I don't think he's going to adjust because I don't think he can. I don't think he knows how to do it. He doesn't know how to do anything but be the Johnny Rah-Rah high school coach that gets the spunky little upstarts and with the chip on your shoulder. Well, guess what? Chip went off. And you know what guys want when they knock the chip off their shoulder? Paid. Clemson won't do it. You're a typewriter. You're a typewriter the day that Wozniak and Jobs and all those guys showed up with computers. Apple and Microsoft. And you're a damn fine typewriter. You ain't a computer. And until you learn that, and you learn how to sell computers, you're going to be a broke keyboard salesman. And that's what Dabo is.
And now his team is, has staring at this 34-3 loss. You got Appalachian State coming to town this weekend, a team that is not going to be afraid of you.
I think App State walks into Death Valley with absolutely no fear because they look at that and go, you know what? Can Cade Klubnik actually beat me deep? I know he can make the throws. Can he make the reads? Mm-hmm. So all I have to do is confuse him.
Yep.
That's what Georgia did immaculately on Saturday. But now really look at the rest of that schedule. You're going to hear me do this a few times today because there's a handful of teams that you look at the schedule a lot differently today than you did a week ago. So Clemson plays Appalachian State this week. Then you play NC State the following week. Then you play Stanford the next week, who did not look like a slouch against TCU. Now, it could be TCU's terrible. I don't know.
Right.
It was a banger, and I was right. Then you got 2 Florida State. That was a game that was on our Living the Dream tour. I wouldn't go to that game if you paid me and there was 10,000 cash waiting on me when I got there.
Right. I'd rather see Wake Forest and Georgia Tech.
But now you look at, you got to go to Blacksburg and Virginia Tech. I know they just lost to Vanderbilt. You're on the road. You still got to go to Blacksburg. You got to take on South Carolina. These don't look as easy as they did a week ago. You're not the power you think you are. And I have a funny feeling this is going to be the year that you see everything I have tried to tell you. Because it's steady drip.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't drinking from a fire hose. This was you made a series of bad decisions over the course of a handful of years. The game changed and you didn't. Nick Saban knew what he was. I don't want to play this game. I want to go sit next to Pat McAfee dancing on game day. Because I can hang out with Miss Terry and have just a grand old time. Because I don't want to play this game. Dad doesn't want to play it either. But he doesn't want to face the fact that you can't win this way.
Mm-hmm. Hey, maybe the best thing for him is to just go back to high school. Oh, wait. They do NIL too.
Dave asked, are you saying Clemson's not a playoff team? Yes, that's exactly what
100%.
I am 100% saying Clemson's not a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Miami would beat their brains out. And I wasn't overly impressed by Miami. I had a much bigger takeaway from that. And now, I'm not saying Miami's not good. I'm just saying the headline was not Miami in that particular face-off.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, and here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
You just gotta keep living, man. LIVIN.
Prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day.
That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
You just gotta keep living, man. LIVIN.
We're back in the Sportsocracy, and we are back from Atlanta Saturday. It was a whirlwind trip down to the Aflac kickoff game at the Mercedes-Benz Dome for Georgia and Clemson.
We got our first two Super Chats of the day, and the first one is from that game. Yeah! It's our buddy Red C, who said, hey, Tank didn't get abducted by space aliens.
I did not.
I actively thought you did, because I'm not going to lie. Did you ever see How I Met Your Mother episode where Ted and Marshall smoked a sandwich and they lost concept of time and they wound up in the mezzanine and they thought they were going for like 4 hours and it was like 4 minutes?
Right.
That's what I did with you. Because I learned a valuable lesson. When it's 100 degrees in Georgia and you're bouncing tailgate to tailgate, giving away Dale's Pale Ale to all the masses, that's... You should probably have a sandwich, bro.
Yep.
And I didn't.
Yep.
So
that is a fun time.
I was enjoying your fan base. That stupid cheer you do.
Uh-huh.
Who's that coming down the track? The mean machine in red and black. I think I started that chant like 11 times.
Right.
And literally I would only do the first line because I couldn't remember the words. And then we would get to the end and I would just scream, like a dark, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs! Go Dogs! There were a bunch of Clemson fans that despised me with every fiber of their being.
Yes, there were.
That's fine. You'll get over it. You'll get over it. And then we have another super chat, also from Red Sea.
All right.
Yeah! He said, I really don't want to discuss how badly my Gators got beat by Miami. We're gonna. And there's a much bigger problem at work there. We'll talk about that in the next segment.
Yes. Coming up this weekend, it'll be the week 2 trip down to Charlotte for the Dukes Mayo Classic between the Tennessee Volunteers and the NC State Wolfpack.
Oh, so
I don't think you could come up with two teams that I hate more than you. Like, this is the worst combination you could possibly have for me.
You would. So this week, you get to see how I felt last week. Although I did start to warm up to Georgia because you're fans. For a team that's been that good for that long, you have the least obnoxious fans that I think I've met in a long time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was in line for most of the first half talking with other Georgia fans, and we were all talking about the same thing. Like, we're not going to win a national championship again if Mike Bobo keeps doing this stupid stuff. Like, we've been there because we're a reformed, like we're just new to this whole we're really good and unstoppable thing. You have a fan base that lived for 40 years, and we're going to find a way to step on our own ears. Clean that up for the FCC. But, I mean, if you... Just 2 years of greatness is not enough for us to go, yeah, this is fine now. We're all good. Still remember the darker times.
No, I mean...
and Mike Bobo was a big part of the darker times.
Look, I mean, I saw some belly buttons from Georgia. Don't get me wrong.
Belly buttons?
It's a term my dad always used. Of everybody's got a belly button, and most of them are not cute.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I saw some of those from Georgia, but nothing that wasn't overly correctable. I mean, and with Carson Beck, you just know it going in.
Yeah.
All these people were talking about him as the no doubt number one quarterback in this class. Are you smoking crack? Jackson Dart's the number one quarterback in this class, and I think he proved that.
Yeah, 445 yards.
445, and he didn't play in the second half.
Yeah, he was playing Furman,
I don't
though.
care if he was playing us.
Come on.
I don't care if he played iHeartRadio Asheville. And he was on pace to throw for 900 yards against a team that's ranked in the top 25 of FCS football.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. He played that top 25 FCS team a lot better than, I don't know, the Wolfpack did theirs or Colorado did theirs.
Uh-huh.
But neither of those teams are supposed to be contenders. Ole Miss is. And the fact that they beat Furman by 1 billion.
They beat them.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying, hold on. He went 445 against Furman.
And looked just flawless. And we will see him in a couple weeks at Wake Forest. And I'm excited about it. So I'll be the hottie toddy thing. Oh, I'm going to do that. This week, Rocky Top, no doubt. I will get tired of that song. Not nearly as fast as you will.
I was going to say.
I'm just glad you get to experience what I did last week, this week.
Right, seeing Clemson and Georgia.
I don't love either one of you. And this week, I'm going to have a good old time. I love NC State. I love NC State fans, and I love Tennessee fans. I almost went to Tennessee, so I do have a lean.
I mean, Michael Meadows, that's the best thing Tennessee's got going for him, in my opinion. And
he is definitely very high up there.
And NC State has Patrick Holt, and other than that, those two schools could drop into the ocean for me, and I wouldn't care.
Yeah, you're going to get to meet some of my Tennessee fan friends this week, and yeah. Let's see. West Virginia has moonshine. Tennessee has moonshine. Yeah, I think we get along just fine. And Tank, we're staying in Charlotte, so
Yay.
Tank, I may have to drag Tank back by his shoelaces.
Tennessee and NC State, the Dukes Mayo Classic, Bank of America Stadium, Saturday night at 7:30. Living the Dream Tour will be there, just like we were in Atlanta. And again, it's all thanks to our good friends at Ingles Supermarkets, Dale's Pale Ale, Parks Ford, Hendersonville, for supplying the mobile studio, which is getting us safely from here to there.
Oh, we've got new cameras. I did the first shot from the mobile studio. If you're following us on the social medias, which everybody should, you saw the truck studio, which is going to be, it's so seamless. You hit a button and it just does all of its little tricks. I love it.
And, of course, Dale's Pale Ale for providing the refreshment while we were down there in the 187-degree parking lot.
I really wanted to make sure that I had a solid understanding of how both the Dale's Pale Ale and the Light Lager tasted. And I did a pretty good job of it.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Yes, you did. So we will have more Dale's Pale Ale tailgates of the week next week from Charlotte. If you are going down or you know a place where we need to check out the best tailgates at Bank of America Stadium.
Oh, I tell you where the best tailgate is. It's ours, because we're bringing one of the best tailgates from Tennessee to Charlotte. And it's going to be a grand old time.
It's going to be fun. And you can follow along with us all season long on the Living the Dream Tour on the YouTubes and, of course, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We'll continue to see sunshine and beautiful weather. Talked about it last week, and everything is working right like we expected, or working out like we expected. Little breeze today, 75 should do it, mostly sunny. Tonight we will see some clouds roll in, 55, but no rain. Wednesday, partial sun, 75. Thursday, back to mostly sunny, 75. Friday, increasing clouds with maybe some late day showers and a high of 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount Football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire, as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free White Out t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamounts.sports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
iHeartMedia Asheville can't wait to bring you Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare, Saturday, September 14th at Carrier Park. Asheville, this is your opportunity to gather with your community's healthcare workers and show them the love. Live music, food, and beer trucks, and great prizes. Healthcare workers, be sure to bring something to show you work in healthcare for grand prize eligibility. Free and open to the public. Bring your lawn chairs and feel the love. iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare and Mission Health. Details at showlovefest.com.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Superstore for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Hondas, including the CR-V, the HR-V, and Civic. Apple Tree Superstore is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience. Shop online at appletreesuperstore.com and in person, I-26 and Airport Road, Asheville.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount Football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field, E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire, as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free White Out t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamounts.sports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We're back in the Sportsocracy, and weirdest story for me from the weekend, I think for everybody else probably has to be Ricky Pearsall. Did you look into this story?
I did.
And all right, so San Francisco 49ers rookie wide receiver Ricky Pearsall, if you did not hear, was shot in a robbery attempt in San Francisco. He's out of the hospital. He will recover. He has been placed on the non-football injury list, which means he will miss at least the first 4 games of this season. He was out at 3:30 in the morning in downtown San Francisco. And that seems like first no-no to me. I mean, there's nothing against the law about being out at 3:30 in the morning. However,
well, I mean, in San Francisco, there's nothing against the law anyway because they don't prosecute anything.
This is very true. But I feel like that's number one, that we all have to, or at least those responsible for Ricky Pearsall's football career, the coaches, the GM, the agent, all have to sit down and go, what the hell, man? Why did you feel it necessary to be out on the streets at 3:30 in the morning?
This happened in the afternoon, by the way.
No. Did it? Oh, God, it was. I thought it was 3:30 a.m.
I was about to say, I don't know where you're getting your information.
Holy crap.
The sun was very clearly up because he walked to the ambulance.
Then there you go. I misread it. I thought it was 3:30 in the morning. I was like, why the hell are you out at 3:30 in the morning? Oh, 3:30 in the afternoon. Well, then that's just,
my other question was going to be, this story didn't break until 10 o'clock at night. So how did you think they kept that quiet?
I don't remember. I don't remember when the story came out. I saw it yesterday.
I showed it to you on Saturday night. I said Ricky Pearsall got shot. We were doing a fantasy football draft.
Yeah, so that could have been Friday night.
The story just broke.
I don't know.
I said breaking news.
Yeah, I had been up for 87 hours at that point. Excuse me for
You
not
had
being
slept-
a tent.
You had slept more than I had and had drank at least 20 beers less than I had. My sympathy does not run that deep for you, especially considering you woke me up with Creed. Oh,
Did I?
Oh, God, yeah, I was ready to punch you directly in the jejunum.
Oh, why? Is that not something that you want to wake up to? Is that not your favorite band?
I didn't want to wake up to anything. I wanted to sleep like I let you sleep. Decided to go mud hopping in Simpsonville, South
See,
Carolina.
so this makes the story even worse. The fact that he was out 3:30 in the afternoon, some 17-year-old kid holds him up at gunpoint. They both get into a scuffle. The kid was shot as well. And then the fact that, the DA comes out and says, we might charge him, we might not. We'll let y'all know next week. Oh, how California is that?
Well, and the DA was appointed by Kamala Harris, so you can take that for what you want. I will say this, though. My number one thought was they said he's going to miss 4 weeks. He got shot through and through in the chest.
In the chest, yeah.
Next player that has, a sprained ankle, like, I'm going to miss 6 weeks. I feel like Ricky Pearsall should be the one you have to tell that to.
Oh, he had this last year with Brian Robinson.
He just shows up and goes, you going to miss how much time, bro? I think that's 2.
With a hangnail.
I got shot right here, and it went out there.
I'm just and then when you have a player that gets caught with a weapon, everybody goes, why are they carrying guns?
I got an idea.
I
got an idea. My story is about our friends at ESPN National and something that's it's becoming quite a story around the college football landscape. Do I care if Nick Saban and Pat McAfee don't love each other?
No.
I look, Nick does his show every week. There was a video of Pat enjoying himself, as you do. And Nick didn't seem to love it. That went viral over the weekend.
Well, they weren't his kind of music.
It was really more, it looked like he was upset that McAfee was having a good time. And I get it. Nick Saban's he's a crustier old guy.
Mm-hmm.
I have long said, I believe Nick Saban is on that show for the X's and O's football fan.
Yes.
And Pat McAfee is on that show for me.
Yes.
The guy that just, I don't take this that seriously. I do it for a living. We have a sweet life. It's not like we're curing cancer out here, bro. All right, we're talking about college football. It's meant to be fun. I got a couple messages that said, it's unprofessional to be intoxicated at a tailgate. I'm not a journalist, bro. It says fan tour we're doing this as fans. You get that, right? That's like
Somebody said that to you?
I got a couple of them.
Nice.
They did not love my response.
Well, nor should they.
What do
are you
want?
new to this show?
Well,
Are you new to the personalities?
Do you not understand how media works at this point? He's the straight-laced, buttoned-up one. That's how it goes. That's how they found me. I was a comedian. Just so happens a comedian knows football pretty well.
Yeah. Nick Saban having a problem, quote unquote, with Pat McAfee dancing on the set is better for the show. In fact,
no doubt.
That's the reason that they put it out there, was like, look what we got. Nick Saban looking in derision on Pat McAfee like he is a child. And he is, because that's his role he's supposed to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like this is too hard to figure out. No. I saw so much of that. Oh, Nick Saban looks like he's ready to kill Pat McAfee. No, not really. He's sitting next to a grown child. He's used to putting up with that with his players, right? You go into the locker room and they're banging the music and they're dancing and they're having a good time. This ain't that. This is a different kind of scene, and he's staring at a 50-year-old dude dancing to Snap Your Fingers.
Pat McAfee's 37.
Is he 37?
We're the same age. We would have graduated from West Virginia together.
Wow. All right, whatever. He's still supposed to be acting better than that.
No, he's not. This is your role. And game day's never been more popular. And I don't think there's one specific reason. I think now you have something for everybody. If you want the X's and O's guy who sounds like Ben Stein from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you got Nick Saban. And I love it. And then there's a lot of us that are like, it's Saturday. I want to drink 100 beers and talk about how bad Florida sucks.
Because they do.
Woo! We have a reel with that coming out after the show. That's Tank found a pair of sunglasses that I don't know where they came from. I now want him to wear them all the time.
I can't do that though, because and then I can't see the screens in here.
No, I didn't mean during the show. I meant like when we go out in public.
Yeah, we could probably make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, Florida does suck, don't they?
Whew. Whew. We have a poll up on our social media right now of which coach deserves to be fired most immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Dabo Swinney, Mike Norvell, or Billy Napier. And for me, it's Billy Napier, and it's not even close.
Ooh, that's a real close one for me.
There's no credits with Billy Napier. What's he done at Florida that would save him in any way?
Sure.
Mike Norvell just had you 12-0 last year at Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's gone horribly off the rails. Dabo Swinney has rings. Billy Napier has nothing. And you have taken this program and run it into the ground. I can't name you a thing they do well. That would be unsettling for me if I was a Florida Gator fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you do well.
Drink before the games, maybe. I don't have a good answer for that. My overwhelming takeaway from the weekend was, I think Miami just won the ACC by showing up. The fact that they ran away from Florida State or from Florida at the end of that game is just proof, right? Is that not just a little bit of proof that they are the best team in this conference?
I don't take much away from this. I really don't. It doesn't mean much. Florida has no quarterback. They played two. Both of them were awful. They ran the ball reasonably well. They couldn't stop anything. Miami had over 500 total yards of offense. They really put some distance between them in the second quarter, but it was still a game. The third quarter is where you went, okay, we're done here. It was very obvious that Miami was more talented. They were better coached. I just can't figure out who is Florida supposed to beat. I'm kind of being a jerk here. I'm kind of not. They play Samford this week. You struggled with them not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you go Texas A&M. They will kill you. Mississippi State, UCF, you're kind of in that territory. Like I believe you're about as talented as those two teams are. So I don't think you'll get embarrassed, but you easily could get beat. Then you end the season at Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, at Florida State. The only thing that will preclude you from getting beat by 57 times in a row is that I'm not sure Florida State could score 50 points on air. This is not going to go well. By the end of this year, we're going to be talking about Billy Napier as the worst coach in the history of the Florida Gator program.
Yes. He won't make it that far.
I don't know that you're right there.
Because nobody to turn that over to. I don't know how you. I just don't know how you continue to survive.
Mid-season.
I get it, but I don't know how you continue to just live in that world, because this is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse for Billy Napier. It's already bad. He's already got, fans jumping off the bridges and message boards and stuff. And he said it in his press conference, right? Like if we could be a better football team if we could stop focusing on, what some, I think he called them couch dwellers, what some couch dwellers in Central Florida are saying on social media. The fact that he was struggling to open a water bottle throughout that entire press conference. Did you see that as well? Oh, my gosh.
I did.
It just made it even more rich that this is just a dumpster fire and nothing he does works. Down to trying to open water bottles. It's just nothing has worked. None of the recruits have come in and developed. He hasn't brought any passion. This has been a disaster from the get-go.
Let me ask you a question. outside of Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier, when's Florida actually been good for a sustained period of time?
Were they prior to that at some point? The 60s, maybe? I don't know.
Really? Steve Spurrier in 91 won 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time the Florida program had ever won 10 games. I mean, they had some good years, don't get me wrong. You went 9-1-1 under Charlie Pell. But this is what Florida does. This is kind of the point I was trying to get to. Is Florida will they pour everything into a guy because he's going to be the savior. Did it with Ron Zook, did it with Will Muschamp, did it with Jim McElwain, did it with Dan Mullen, did it with Billy Napier. You know what every one of those coaches have in common?
What was that?
They all started reasonably well, and then it just glided into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, by the end of it, it was terrible. McElwain got fired in season. Will Muschamp got fired in season. Dan Mullen got fired in season. At some point, you had to look around and go, I know you think you're a powerhouse. You're not. Florida's not a powerhouse program. It's not even close, as a matter of fact. They have a decent amount of money. NIL has changed the game completely because now your money is a pittance in comparison to what you actually need to compete at the highest levels. So here's the question that I would ask on Napier. I agree. He has to be fired. He went 6-7 his first year, 5-7 last year, and he's headed down a path.
3-8.
If they win 3 games, I honestly think they should bronze his shoes. This team could go 0-12, and it wouldn't shock me. Obviously, I think they're going to beat Samford.
I was going to say.
I think they probably get one more. They have 2-10 written all over them. So where do you turn now? How many times do you have to hire the hot shot coach? How many times do you have to go through this process and have the guys with options turn you down before you realize we're not what we think we are? Hey, look, I understand Florida State's a fun punching bag right now. They were 12-0 last year. The last time Florida was 12-0, you care to venture a guess when that was? When was the last time they won 12 games?
I would have to imagine it was one of the Tebow years.
It's 2009. That's 15 years ago. That's the last time you won 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you've only had double-digit wins 4 times. You're not what you think you are. You're just not. You're the 3rd best program in the state of Florida. And it's hard to win recruits that way because you got Georgia coming down there. You had Clemson coming down there for a long time. You got Alabama that's raiding you. You got Texas that's in the SEC now. You got Oklahoma that recruits well. It's not easy to be the one that gets the crumbs, especially when now you got big rats that come in and steal. They see a big crumb they want, and they come get it.
Yep. And it's weird for like people our age to see that because we are familiar with the Spurrier years and the Urban Meyer years where they were a dominant program, and you would think that they should be a national power. That's why they believe that they are, because for 20 years, 15 years, they had a hell of a run between 2 different coaches.
Ask yourself this question. Florida job opens.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the coach that can fix it.
Who can fix it? Oh,
who's the coach
Lord.
that you walk away and go, yes, we're back, baby, we're back?
Bill O'Brien, after he wins the ACC with Boston College.
I don't think Bill O'Brien would take your job.
Really?
Bill wants to get back to the NFL.
Yeah.
And Boston College, people don't want to talk about this. One of the reasons he took that job, first of all, he's very comfortable with the area. Second of all, it's been a factory for putting coaches in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's right outside of New England. You got 5 teams up there within decent enough proximity. That's why he took that job. Because I can leave Boston College anytime I want to, and nobody's going to care.
Mm-hmm.
And if I win anything here, they'll build statues of me. I don't think Bill O'Brien would take your job. And that's the problem. And you've had this problem time and time and time again. That's how you wound up with Jim McElwain. That's how you wound up. Dan Mullen was the only one that was a super high-end, and the reason he took your job, because he had a relationship with you. And then you ran him out of town. And trust me, these coaches see that. Your last 3 coaches have all been fired in season. Coaches talk. They're all represented by largely the same guys. So if you keep running through coaches like this, it's kind of hard for you to find another one. We have a slew of super chats. Right. Let's do these we'll do them in order.
All right.
Yeah! Sir Jimothy said Georgia Tech, and Boston College with a slew of laughing faces. Have no fear, my Florida State rant's coming in 7.5 minutes. And it's probably not going to be what you think either. Pennywise asked, why are so many players getting shot in the NFL? Well, that's not really the NFL. It's the world. Crime is on the rise, and we don't do politics, so I can't tell you why. But I can look at the camera and go, you know what I want to say. Red Sea asked, where is the poll for the coach? It's on our Facebook and our Instagram. It's a video that we shot with our we were playing with our new toy this morning. And
camera. He means camera.
That sounded bad. I didn't realize how bad that sounded when I said it. New camera toy. And so we'll be doing those things in the morning before the show moving forward. So you'll have videos that pop up about 9:30 every day with questions of things that we want to talk about the show. And it's a fan interaction thing. You like for Napier, love for Norvell, and laugh for Dabo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 30 seconds, but we're going to be doing those things daily moving forward. And Soaring Eagles, you got to hit the button again.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah! Soaring Eagles said wild card vote for Brian Kelly and his family. We're going to talk about him in the next hour, too. And I could not more vehemently disagree with you if I tried.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
If you're listening to this Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance ad, there's a good chance that you're alive. And if you're not, well, this may not be of interest to you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life insurance, I'm going to live forever. Death is what happens to other people. Well, for the sake of argument, let's assume you're wrong and that someday you won't be listening to the radio anymore. I know it's not easy to talk about, so I'll do the talking. If you're 50 plus and alive, or 50 to 75 in New York, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance regardless of your health. And since this life insurance is guaranteed, you don't have to get a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, call 888-532-5016. Then, when you stop, if you stop listening to the radio, your family can use the insurance money to help cover your final expenses or anything else. Your kids already inherited your ears, allergies, and questionable singing voice. Don't make them inherit your final expense tab too. For a free personalized quote, call 888-532-5016 today.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. We can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local, offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities. There's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information and to begin the registration process. And go Mounties!
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, East Forsyth comes up the mountain to take on Reynolds. The Rockets bounce back from a Week 1 loss with a strong win over Shelby. They'll be looking to keep the momentum going at home. Sports Tank Friday gets us started at 6:30. Bojangles' Countdown to Kickoff show is at 7 on ESPN 1400 and TuscolaRadio.com. The Mountaineers off a fresh win against Polk host McDowell. Chris Kelly and the guys have the Mountaineer Countdown to Kickoff show at 7. The best coverage of high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We'll continue to see sunshine and beautiful weather. Talked about it last week, and everything is working right like we expected, or working out like we expected. Little breeze today, 75 should do it, mostly sunny. Tonight we will see some clouds roll in, 55, but no rain. Wednesday, partial sun, 75. Thursday, back to mostly sunny, 75. Friday, increasing clouds with maybe some late-day showers and a high of 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Get a Sleepy's Queen mattress at the lowest price ever, just $89.99. Offer ends Tuesday. In-store pickup only. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm during their Labor Day sale.
We all know Goodwill. But did you know when you donate stuff to Goodwill, you help provide job training for people right here in your community? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword LUCKY to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's LUCKY to 200-200.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go. On the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. We were, what? What are you laughing at already?
I always love when people post things on our social media that are funny enough to get a live reaction out of me. Our old buddy Tommy Bradley posted on our Facebook to the video poll of which coach should be fired.
Yes.
He said, I, for one, support Florida State's silent protest of not winning a game all year. Of the injustice of last year.
Good for you, Tommy.
That is fantastic. Good for you. We miss you, Tommy.
We'll show you NCAA.
Tommy was just a damn funny cat.
Yeah.
Like, one of the funniest people I think I've ever met in my life.
You leave us out when we're 12-0. What are you going to say when we're 0-12? Take that.
Matthew Hoffman asked if Florida called me, would I take their job? I couldn't put those colors on without my skin just melting off. So I also don't want to have to talk that slowly. I talk really fast, and that wouldn't work out well. They'd look at me like I was Boomhauer. Like, what do you say? What play coach call? I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Do I do this now? I think I do this now. Oh, sorry.
Billy Napier and Florida get throttled by Miami. Dabo Swinney and Clemson get throttled by Georgia. And, well, Mike Norvell and the Florida State Seminoles just got throttled by Boston College a week after they got throttled by Georgia Tech. I don't know that Mike Norvell is not at the top of my list of, I think maybe we need to just start thinking about something else here.
Well, I'm going to ask a question about Mike Norvell, and you stop me when I'm wrong.
Okay.
Name me the player he's developed.
The player he's developed.
Mm-hmm. There is one answer to this.
Jordan Travis.
That's the only answer I have. And you inherited him. He was already on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
They have 16 new starters on this team that all came out of the transfer portal. You are not recruiting well. You haven't put a non-transfer in the NFL in an extended period of time. And so I look at Mike Norvell and go, what is it exactly that you're telling me it is you do here? The fact Adam Fuller is still employed is enough for me to tell you that you might be a moron.
Mm-hmm.
Tank, how many times did I say this last year? How many times did you hear the name Adam Fuller? I specifically remember you Googling him one day.
Yes.
Just so you would know who it was I was talking about.
Yes.
That would be the defensive coordinator, who is top 5 biggest buffoons I have ever watched coached one of my teams, and I pull for the New York Jets. I am a forward-thinking thought on buffoons in footballery. Last night was an absolute disaster. And for me, DJ Uiagalelei is really easy to blame. He is. He's easy to blame because he's absolutely awful.
Yes.
I do not see how anybody fell for this. You can attest to this. I constantly said, I don't know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was good in the Pac-12. Cool. Nobody in that conference plays defense. Nobody. I do think you have to sit him down at some point. I don't think he should start. The next game, he should not start.
I was shocked they didn't pull somebody else in last night in the fourth quarter.
But even that's none of this is my problem. How did Mike Norvell get here? What did he do particularly well at Memphis?
He won games, didn't he?
Run the damn ball! They ran it 16 times last night for 21 yards. That's hard to do. That is hard to do. When you have a quarterback that couldn't hit the broadside of the ocean and your game plan is, hey, let's put this fully on him. Thomas Castellanos went 10 of 16 for 106 yards. You allowed them to run 52 times defensively at 5 yards a clip. You didn't do anything well. And then you show up at the press conference and absolutely look like Sam Darnold circa New England 2019 of you just saw a ghost and you have no explanation for what just happened. I have an explanation. So, dum-dum, I need you to look right in my face and let me explain it to you. You got absolutely out-coached in a way that you don't often see at an FBS level of Power 5 teams, especially not one that was supposed to be a championship contender. And I have a philosophy on why this has happened. A, you're not a very good coach. You never have been. It's a lot of sleight of hand magic of, hey, look, my running back's going out in motion before the play, and if all 3 of your linebackers fall down, I walk to a touchdown. And that works when you have Keon Coleman and Jordan Travis and Johnny Wilson. You don't have that now. You have DJ Uiagalelei Bum Bum, who is just god-awful. I cannot figure out how you went through a whole summer and at no point went, why is every pass he throws too high? I saw Kyle Spurlock getting absolutely just deep fried on Twitter last night because he had 2 bad drops. Both of them? Morlock. What'd I say?
Spurlock.
He played for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
He had 2 god-awful drops, and I will say that. You know why he dropped him? Because he was so surprised that DJ Uiagalelei was able to hit his body, let alone hit him in the hands. Then it scared him of just, I was expecting to have to like jump over a person, maybe get a ladder. It's a joke.
It is a joke.
You have taken a program from national title contender to national laughingstock in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was going to save this for I'm mad, but I'm not gonna, because the narrative around this game is hitting a nerve in my head. Stop roping in the 23 team. Stop doing that. This abject disaster has nothing to do with 2023. It has nothing to do with Jordan Travis. It has nothing to do with Jared Verse. It has nothing to do with Braden Fiskey. It has nothing to do with Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson. I can do this for quite some time. Stop lumping the two together. I wouldn't even need all my fingers to count the number of guys that have even a role on this team that had anything to do with last year. I get it's a fun little narrative of, oh, they didn't get in the playoff, and this is why they didn't deserve to be there. This has absolutely nothing to do with last year's playoffs. It's not even the same team. And every time you say that, you literally might as well just hold up a sign that says dumbass with an arrow that points down to you, because that's what we all hear. Straight up. That's as nice as I can be about that. Now, let's move on to what we're seeing on the field. You cannot cobble together a team with nothing but transfers and think that this is just going to be seamless. You can't do it. Period. And that's what he tries to do every year because he can't recruit. High school coaches in the state of Florida have no use for him whatsoever. Go back and look at where the recruiting classes have ranked. How many top 10 classes does he have?
None.
0. Not nary a one. Because you can't develop them. And so you are basically an imitation football coach because you're letting coaches at Albany and Western Michigan and smaller schools that you can outpay do your job for you. I'm going to go find actual talent, and then I'm just going to steal it from you when I get it to go into the transfer portal, and I'm going to throw it together, and they're so talented that it doesn't matter how stupid I am. Doesn't matter. Well, that works when you have a quarterback. And I'll be honest with you, I've never respected Jordan Travis more than I respect him right now. He was not my favorite Seminole up until last year. The fact that you were able to rally that team together, which had insane amounts of talent on it, to 12-0 in spite of this coach is shocking. I got news for you. You don't become this dumb overnight. It didn't happen. You didn't just show up one day and go, I forgot how I got here. You don't have a solution.
But when all your talent leaves.
All the talent that you had last year left.
Right.
Now you have to actually get back to what it is you do because you're going to have to run the ball because you don't have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you have 5 high-end offensive linemen. This was supposed to be the best offensive line Florida State's had since the heyday of Jimbo Fisher.
Really?
I heard that 1,000 times in the offseason. It's supposed to be the best defensive line that in the nation.
Back to like Cam Irving days.
This is not the best defensive line in Tallahassee. Tallahassee Community College has a better defensive line than you do right now. They're out of position constantly. It is a joke that you can at any point look across the sideline. And if you remember, I told you this. We were talking about Boston College, Florida State on the way back from Atlanta. And I said, Thomas Castellanos is not a good thrower of the football.
Mm-hmm.
So you should load up the box and dare him to throw. What did they do? They played 4-man front and dropped guys constantly because they were scared to death he was going to throw one over their head. And then what did he do? He never threw one deep.
No.
Because you didn't have to.
No. Because we'd run it down your throat. 263 yards.
Yeah. And you were tipping your hand so hard on blitzes that you could literally watch him checking off. Because he was looking over at Bill O'Brien, headset would turn off. All Bill's doing, give him a little signal. Because I've got a dummy play. Because Bill O'Brien's a smart coach. And so he knows I got a guy up in the box that's talking to me and telling me what he's seeing. And so all I have to do is give you a little steel third sign, and you fall back to the dummy play. And they did it time and time. I watched the all 22 this morning.
Yep.
I made it through the first quarter and a half before I said, nope, I'm done. I sat in my office at Mullet Manor watching it on my tablet, and I was so angry by the end of the first quarter that I went, I've seen all I need to see. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I know how this game went.
Yep. They played with you.
They did.
Bill O'Brien toyed with that defense all night long.
This was a team that last year could not get out of their own way. One offseason was enough for Bill O'Brien to bring these guys together and figure out, this is what I have, and this is how I can win. Do you think Bill O'Brien wanted to run 52 times last night? Anything in his history ever tell you that that's how he wants to coach? Nope. But if that's what you're going to give me, it's what I'm going to take.
Exactly.
Because that's what good coaches do. The problem is that Mike Norvell's not one. And Alex Atkins is not here. I have not heard the first person say that. The offensive coordinator at Florida State suspended and has been for both of these games. That means it all fell on Mike Norvell. But Norvell calls the plays anyway. Yeah, but he's got Atkins right there to go. Alex Atkins been here 2 years. I guarantee you, I've never seen a Alex Atkins offense run the ball 16 times total for 21 yards, doing the same thing over and over and over again. And you said all the talent left. All right, let's dive a little deeper into that. Cam Davis is a blue-chip, top-end, one of the highest-ranked running backs in the country. Roydale Williams was a 5-star running back that went to Alabama. Lawrence Tuafili was, I'm not going to say he was as good as Trey Benson, but he was as productive as Trey Benson last year. What happened? Did they touch the Space Jam ball? No. Mike Norvell got left to his own devices, and he's just not very good. So now the offense is all on him, and what did that lead to? You're completely out of balance, you got behind early, and you fell into the trap. Because when you're one-sided, you're one-dimensional, it's much easier to defend you. And so when I'm Boston College that doesn't have a slew of 5-stars, how much easier is it for me if I know you're not running the ball? DJ Uiagalelei was the leading rusher on this team for an extended period of time last night. Cam Davis had one 8-yard run that was enough to make him the leading rusher on the game.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that DJ only had 21 incompletions in that game because it felt like he went 1 for 72.
He's a joke.
It was terrible. The way that he was missing dudes wide open. That one play that they had on, I think it was 3rd down as they were trying to go in for a score, and the receiver just hit that corner route, and the defense both bit on the underneath guy, and he went straight to the corner, and DJ just threw it over his head. I was like, I remember living through Jameis Winston like that when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He would do stuff like that. But at least Jameis had a high side. At least Jameis would come out and right, like DJ has none of it.
There's no high side here.
I actually found myself at a point as a kid who grew up just absolutely hating Florida State because they were so dominant and none of us could touch them, and they won 80 million ACC games in a row when they first joined the conference. Hated Florida State. At one point last night, I found myself feeling sorry for Florida State fans, going, what is happening right here? Because we had all of that momentum from last year, and I'm not saying these are the same teams, but you went through the pain of last year of being robbed, quote unquote, by the NCAA and not getting into the college football playoff. Then you had to, well, some of you sat through the beatdown that you took in the bowl game because nobody played. Then you go through the whole offseason of, is DJ Uiagalelei going to be Clemson DJ or is he going to be Oregon State DJ?
Well, let's talk about
we got to really hope that it goes this way. And from the kickoff of the game in Dublin to the end of the game last night, you have your answer. The DJ's not the guy.
Well, let's talk about the Oregon State DJ because I've heard this a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times he threw for over 300 yards last year?
Let me guess 5.
It was 0.
0?
He didn't do it once.
Really?
There's this big myth that DJ Uiagalelei was so great. No, the defense was great. Oregon State had an outrageous defense under Jonathan Smith. They didn't ask him to do anything. And he was still against Oregon, where they got just demolished. He was 19 to 35, 54% completion percentage, touchdown and interception. He was awful. Washington, he kept him in it. But really break down what he did. He was 15 of 31, 164 yards, 2 interceptions. That's terrible. That's awful. He broke 70% in terms of completion percentage. He broke it 2 times last year against Cal and San Jose State. That's it. In the god-awful Pac-12.
Woohoo.
This is everything that I was afraid of with him and more. And all I could think about the entire time, because I was following this game on Twitter, and I just couldn't put myself through it because I knew exactly what was going to happen. And it was even worse than I thought. But all I could think about was Cam Ward wanted to come here. The kid that just tore Florida into little pieces, he wanted to come here. And Mike Norvell jumped up and said, we don't have to pay him that much. We can go get DJ Uiagalelei. Because Cam didn't want to make a decision. He wanted to go to Ohio State. His fallback was Florida State. And they wanted an answer. And Norvell, in his infinite wisdom, said, I can win with anybody. Look what I did with Jordan Travis. He was terrible when he got here, and I made him one of the best quarterbacks in Florida State history. No, Jordan Travis made himself one of the best quarterbacks in Florida State history. You just so happened to be the guy that was behind the wheel. What we didn't know is it was a Tesla that drives itself. You're a joke. You're a running joke. And it's not going to get any better. Oh, we got a week off. We can get things right. Can you?
Well, next week you got to play Memphis.
They'll lose to Memphis. I have no doubt they'll lose to Memphis.
Really?
I have zero doubt they will lose to Memphis. To be honest with you, I'd be shocked if they didn't lose to Memphis. Memphis is better than any team they've played yet. And it's really not all that close. That's one of the best group of 5 teams that we have.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hurt your feelings.
Ooh.
And now that's not this week. That's in 2 weeks. They're off this week.
Okay, they're off this week. Well, thank God they're off this week. No chance to lose a 3rd week in a row.
They'd still find a way. They honest to God, would still find it. Florida State's going to lose to themselves in week 2.
First top 10 team ever to start out a season 0-2. And you do have to ask the question, how long is it going to last?
Well, I mean, my problem is that you spent the whole offseason, and it's just such a bad look. You spent the whole offseason just, boo-hoo, they didn't let us in, boo-hoo. Well, you got beat 63-3 in the bowl game. And you've been absolutely just pushed around by Georgia Tech and Boston College. And you know what they have in common? They're a better coach than you are.
Can you think of another batch of 12 quarters that you would rather forget in Florida State football history? Has it ever felt this bad?
I would rather you bird box me and hold my eyes open and make me watch the Rich Kotite era of the New York Jets on repeat while you hit me in the nethers with a wiffle ball bat than watch another second of what Florida State's putting on the field.
Yep.
Especially when Mike Norvell is sitting over there and has that look on his face like a squirrel that's trying to divide 746 by 218. And he's just,
I gave him a little bit of credit, right? Early in the game when DJ's just awful and he's like throwing his hands up like, I don't know what to do. Like when he went into halftime and he'd stopped, you could tell every piece of him wanted to just rake DJ over the coals in the the pre-halftime interview that he did coming after the team meeting at the logo. We're going to come and we're going to win this game tonight because we got the heart. That's what he said to his team.
Oh, I'm aware. I know what he said.
And it
trended on Twitter for an extended period of time.
It obviously did not go that way in the second half, but you could tell that it was, what do you want me to do? My quarterback is terrible.
Well,
then when you didn't make a change, when you didn't, because to me, by 4th quarter, you're down, fine, we're trying something else. Mm-hmm. It's time to show the rest of the world that there's somebody behind DJ because he ain't going to be around much longer. And you didn't do it.
Even a competent quarterback would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Kromenhoek could have come in and won this game as a true freshman. He could have. And I don't doubt that one bit.
And
because they gave you every opportunity, and he wouldn't do it.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Phones aren't wired to the wall anymore. We carry them in our pockets. Cars can even drive themselves, right? Technology advances have changed our lives.
That's football legend Emmitt Smith.
Some of the most fascinating advances are happening with the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. I'm talking about natural regenerative treatments for joint pain without surgery or harmful drugs.
Tens of thousands of patients have discovered these breakthroughs firsthand at QC Kinetics. With over 100 board-certified providers across the country, they're transforming the world of pain treatment using your body's own healing properties to help restore your aching joints.
Why would you keep going back to the old tired ways of treating chronic joint pain? Check out the latest advances at QC Kinetics. And here's an idea for you. You can call them on that smartphone right there in your pocket.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your dinner. Though, we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount Football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field, E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free white out t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamounts.sports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville. The question that was asked before the show was which head coach should be fired first? Billy Napier at Florida, Dabo Swinney at Clemson, Mike Norvell at Florida State. I get what you're saying about Billy Napier. However, part of me feels like Billy Napier wasn't supposed to be good anyway. We knew this team was going to be terrible. Who else
built this team?
Yeah, who else is going to take this job? Who else wants this dumpster fire? I think I hold more contempt over Mike Norvell and Dabo Swinney because, well, Dabo, we've seen this before. His refusal to admit that his quarterback sucks and that he needs to move on. He did it with the guy that Mike Norvell is now refusing to bench at his school. Commonality here is DJ Uiagalelei, which for that, I feel like they should just end this now and, kick him out of school. Just be done with it. But I know you can't do that. But still, I mean, at this point, what is there to save with DJ? What is there to save with Cade Klubnik? I feel like both these programs are at a point where you need to move on.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's behind Cade nearly as well as I know what's behind DJ Uiagalelei. You got a bunch of young dudes. But here's the thing. What do I care? All right, Luke Cromenhoek comes in and he's bad. Okay. What am I out?
Mm-hmm.
DJ Uiagalelei is a senior. What is the point? So you can go to the Meineke Car Care Bowl. Florida State, and I mean what I'm getting ready to say here. Florida State could go 10-0 the rest of the year. This year was still an abject failure.
Yes.
You go 10-0. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It means less than nothing. The only way that you come out of this year not looking like an absolute fool is if by the end of this year you have figured out who your quarterback is moving forward. That's it. There is no other win. You have 4 freshmen on this roster.
Yep.
3 of which were really high-level recruits.
One of them's got to be able to play better than DJ.
I don't think – I'm not sure you couldn't play better than DJ.
Well,
I mean, I watched you throw 2 bombs at the Village Sports last night.
I was going to say, my accuracy yesterday was better than DJ's.
Yes, it was better than mine, too. And thank you, all of you that came out to the Village Sports yesterday. I hate that I didn't get to talk to all of you more than I did. I had 2 fantasy drafts happening at the same time by the end of that, which at the end of that weekend, I was not. I might have had the desire. I did not have the ability.
No, I did not labor at all yesterday after the long weekend that we had.
It was a lot. I mean, we now know we learned a lot the first date of the tour, and we're going to use it to do all of the rest of the dates better. The goal is to get better every week.
No doubt.
And this week we are much better put together than we were for the first one.
Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be, right? When you're on a team, you start out a season, maybe you don't look great coming out of the gate, but you fix things. You get better. Florida State neglected to do any of that in the week between Georgia Tech and Boston College.
They got worse. You at least had one drive against Georgia Tech. It was the first drive.
I was just said they had one drive last night, didn't they? Didn't that one that ended in the Poitier touchdown? That was a good drive. I felt like that felt pretty dink, dunk, gone. We hit the big one, scored a touchdown, and you had a little momentum. The problem was when the defense got back out on the field, they marched 75 yards down the field and scored again. And then by that point, the offense came back out, and you could just tell there was no hope. No hope whatsoever.
So the drive that you basically just said was a good drive.
Yeah.
You had the drop from Kyle Morlock.
Okay.
You had a false start. You had to burn a timeout. And you hit 3 legit, actual big boy passes.
Yes.
That's it.
All of those receivers were wide ass open, too.
Yeah. You did what basically any remedial quarterback, any junior varsity starting quarterback in America could have done what he did. And then you turned around and let them go 6 plays, 75 yards in no time.
Yep. It just sucked the life right out of the whatever momentum that you thought you were securing with that scoring drive. The defense couldn't come up with it.
The defense is pitiful.
They're terrible. Absolutely. I mean, it felt like I was watching that game for way too long last night, and it's because I felt like me and Bill O'Brien were the same person. Like me playing Madden and the college football video game. It was basically the same playbook, just a whole lot of mesh routes. That's all they were doing. You get that little running back out there, and no linebacker was adjusting. And they just went, okay, we'll take another 20 yards. Thank you very much. Here comes another draw play for 17 yards.
It was absolutely pitiful.
Yep. Disaster. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We'll continue to see sunshine and beautiful weather. Talked about it last week, and everything is working right like we expected, or working out like we expected. Little breeze today, 75 should do it, mostly sunny. Tonight we will see some clouds roll in, 55, but no rain. Wednesday, partial sun, 75. Thursday, back to mostly sunny, 75. Friday, increasing clouds with maybe some late-day showers and a high of 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services. It's bow time. Some classics never go out of style, like fresh egg, American cheese, and hickory smoked bacon on a made-from-scratch biscuit. Get a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit with crispy bow rounds and a hot coffee or medium drink for $5.99. Order in the app or at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Audible is a proud partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, plus podcasts and originals, all in one easy app. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount Football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field, E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire, as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free Whiteout t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
WNC healthcare workers, don't miss iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare, Saturday, September 14th at Carrier Park. Join fellow healthcare workers for a day of live music, great food and drinks, and incredible prizes. If your job involves keeping people in Western North Carolina healthy, your community wants to celebrate you. For grand prize eligibility, be sure to bring proof of employment in the healthcare field. iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare and Mission Health. Details at showlovefest.com.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
y'all gon' make me lose my mind.
Check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B.
Come on.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We're back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, and it's time to get weird. It is the political season, and we've got all of the, the campaigns are hot on the trail, and the candidates are giving their speeches, and well, the 24-hour news networks, they continue to do their part.
Oh, no doubt. And every other country in the world is looking at us going, these two are the best you got. Really?
They've been doing that for years.
Not like this. I mean, it's not been good for a handful of cycles.
Yeah.
This one, they're looking around going, that's the best you have.
Yikes.
Really?
So every, I won't say every, but a lot of the 24-hour news services, they do these things. They'll do focus groups. They'll bring in voters, just random anonymous people that we found on the side of the road, or I don't know where the hell they get them from.
They're never random and they're never anonymous.
But they'll hold these little focus groups after all of the big speeches. And then they'll go around the group asking everybody what they thought of the speech. MSNBC did one of these the other night. Hardly the fair and balanced coverage that you will get from any 24/7 news service. And they're holding their group, and they have one guy on the group that, well, he didn't fit the narrative, but they really didn't know it until it was all over, or at least that's what they say. The guy's name that we're talking about here is Adil Ali, Addul. He is from North Carolina, and he was in on the focus group this past weekend on MSNBC. Here's the twist of it. He's actually a candidate running for Congress in North Carolina. He's running in the 12th Congressional District against Alma Adams. Anybody who follows North Carolina politics probably knows that name. She's been a congresswoman for the 12th District for 87 years, just about. I think she's 479 years old.
As most sitting politicians are.
It's not a competitive district. She has owned that district for forever, and the current polling there's no chance, basically, this guy will win. She's 96%, guaranteed to win the race. The flip side of this, though, is that he's running against her. She's the Democrat. He's the pro-Trump Republican candidate for the 12th District, and somehow he snuck in on the MSNBC focus group just to throw shade at Kamala Harris on MSNBC. And for that, I have to give you props. The oddest part about it is that he had been on MSNBC before. So they should have known, I would imagine. Someone in that room should have known. A producer, a director, somebody should have known that this guy was, dare I say, a plant. Adil Ali, is his name. He runs a podcast called The Urban Conservative, if you're interested in checking that out.
I personally would love to be chosen for one of these. I wouldn't care what party it was. I want to be able to sneak in a cooler of Dale's Pale Ale, sit in the back the entire time that they talk, and when they have the first really good pregnant pause towards the end, I can just stand up, rip my shirt off like Pat McAfee did, and just scream, "You suck!" Like just super loud, because I would. At all of them. If you're going to run for office, you should have to pass an IQ test. Knowing what the word hypothesis means should certainly be on that test.
Mm-hmm.
My story is about fast food. Tank, you know I am a prodigious orderer of the Uber Eats. Well, you shouldn't be alarmed to know that if you order Uber Eats, the food that you order is going to be a tidbit more expensive. There are service fees. There are all kinds of things. Well, an internet sleuth who goes by the name on TikTok, huge SNL fan, which is a real bad start for you. He has uncovered what he thinks is a great national travesty. If you order McDonald's on the McDonald's app, some of the menu items are more expensive than they are in the restaurant. There's two things that he missed.
Okay.
Here. One is that you showed a menu board from a restaurant that is different than the one you're talking about, which means it very well could be owned by a different person, which means the menu prices could be different. You moron. Then there's the second thing. You can get 20% off on the McDonald's app every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day of your life, you can do it at least once a day. You might be able to do it more than once a day. I've just never tried. And now I'm here to ask a common sense question. How dumb do you have to be to think that food that is brought to your house should be as cheap or cheaper than if you drove to a building to pick it up? Like, I mean, at some point you have to, before you hit send, you have to go, let's boil this down to the net problem here.
Does this make sense?
Somebody has to get in their car and drive my steak, egg, and cheese bagel to me. And gas costs money. Hey, maybe he was too busy watching Saturday Night Live. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
So he wants the food to be cheaper on the app.
Yes.
Is that
And it is in large part.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you go pick it up, it's much cheaper. But I don't want to do that. I want you, much like my Chipotle was just brought to me, I want it to come to the door because I'm hungry and I don't have time to drive and go get it. So gimme.
People just baffle me. You want stuff for free.
Also, free plug for Chipotle. I'm reasonably sure they put drugs in their food because I don't know that a burrito has ever tasted that good. And now I want another one. I think I just ate a 4-pound burrito and I'm pretty sure I can do it again.
You might have a problem. We might need to talk to someone about that.
I do. I have several problems. Drinking problem, gambling problem. Food's not even in the top 3.
Really?
No, that really just kind of says more about my life than it does.
I guess so.
I'm here for a good time, Tank.
I just feel like all those Little Caesars pizzas and Wendy's burgers are going to start backing up on you here pretty soon. And
I come from good genes, Tank. I come from good genes. We're a resilient people.
I'll remember that when you and me are counting out our Rosuvastatins on this while we're on our next Living the Dream tour stop.
I don't know what that word
It's cholesterol medication.
Oh, yeah. My cholesterol's never been high, shockingly.
I'll trade you some statin medications for your blood pressure pills. That's where we're headed.
But it was fun. It was fun getting there.
It was fun while it lasted.
You know what wasn't fun?
What, Brian Kelly's evening?
Sunday night for Brian Kelly.
Yeah. I didn't see that one coming. I thought for sure LSU was going to represent well, but what did you see? Was it all the questions that you had about this team coming in, that the defense wasn't that good last year? How are they going to get better, and what are you going to do without a quarterback?
So what you just said was all the questions that I asked going into this.
Exactly.
I didn't really ask a ton of those questions on the way out. Garrett Nussmeier was fine. That's not what beat you. Miller Moss was just better.
Mm-hmm.
USC beat you. You didn't beat yourself. They were completely one-dimensional. They couldn't run a greasy peg up a cat's keister. And the defense was better. The secondary just wasn't better. Zachariah Branch is a dog. He just is. Kyron Hudson is a dog. Offensively, USC put a better product on the field than you did. That's it. There's no grander meaning to this. Could you have won this game? Absolutely. You had chances. You just couldn't put it away. Do I understand why Brian Kelly was so angry in the press conference? Sure.
Yeah. Mental mistakes, stupid penalties at stupid times. That's going to kill a coach every time.
Oh, I get it. You were undisciplined, and it bit you. Now, I do have to ask this question. Okay, so if you're out on Brian Kelly, who exactly do you want in – I think Brian Kelly's one of the 3 best coaches in the country.
Is that where we're at? Are they calling for Brian Kelly's head down there?
There are LSU fans that cousin Colin Green has already said he was voting for Brian Kelly in our who should be fired poll. I don't get that. I really don't. This team was left in bad shape after Ed Orgeron. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
There hasn't been a huge drop-off. You haven't had Joe Burrow. I mean, you didn't have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. And so you're not contending for national titles. He still won 10 games 2 years in a row. And this was just, it was a 50-50 game. USC's better than I thought they were. I didn't really walk away from this, and I said out loud, and I was totally wrong. I said if LSU loses this, I'm going to question them more than I'm going to believe in USC. And I was wrong. USC is going to win some games that they shouldn't. I still don't think that the overall record is going to be great.
I was going to say, win some games.
That schedule is mean.
Win some games that they shouldn't, like
Notre Dame.
The Notre Dame game?
That's the one that I had circled of, man, they score points easy, and Notre Dame does not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Notre Dame's defense is really good.
We got a long time till we get there.
Oh, yeah.
It's the last game of the season.
All right, so based off what you saw against LSU, they were always beating Utah State.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to go into the Big House and beat Michigan?
Probably not.
I don't look for it, but I think it's more realistic now than it was.
Yes.
Wisconsin, Minnesota, I would say you probably win both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State becomes much more intriguing, especially if you are able to beat Michigan. Other than that, you don't really play anybody. It's a down Maryland team, shouldn't say down, never been up, Rutgers team.
Yeah.
Down Washington team. Nebraska. You're going to tell me I'm crazy when I say this. USC Nebraska might wind up being way more of a banger than we would have ever thought.
How did they do this weekend?
Nebraska?
Did Dylan Raiola show out in his first game?
He was pretty good. I mean, for a true freshman. Now, that game was against UTEP, so it didn't mean that much. You know who they play this week?
Who that?
Colorado in Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
This, to me, is outside of the game we're going to and outside of Michigan, Texas. That's the third most intriguing game of the week. And I have a dedicated lean, and I am not coming off of it. I haven't even looked at the line straight up because I don't care.
Cornhuskers, no matter what.
Yep. And I'll bet you, Tank, I'm a betting individual.
Yes, sir.
I'll bet you the line on that is higher than it should be.
7.5. According to the screen I'm looking at right now.
Colorado or Nebraska?
Nebraska.
7.5
is
point
a
favorite?
7.5 point favorite.
Man.
Against Colorado.
I did not think that's how that was going to go. I don't care. I'll still take it.
The jig is up.
On Colorado?
Yeah, like Vegas is not on Colorado's side anymore.
They're more on Nebraska than I thought they would be.
Nebraska is, they are. They're one of those teams that, because of Raiola coming in and the job that Matt Rule has done in the transfer portal, there's been way more hype about Nebraska this year than there has been in, I want to say decades.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Well, you also have to look at Nebraska's schedule and just how in the world did you manage to not have to play any of the good teams in your conference outside of one game at Ohio State? I mean, yeah, you play USC and you play Iowa. That's your 2 and your 3, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm. That's good enough for me, though.
For Nebraska?
Yeah, that's good enough for me for the schedule.
Nebraska could go 11-1, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. They are on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. They are a 7-point favorite. So one of the books I was looking at had them at 7.5. DraftKings has them at 7-point favorite over Colorado this weekend.
Without giving up a banger, I feel pretty sure that that's going to be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to sample any of the bangers this week, Tank?
Outside of North Dakota State, no, I don't believe I jumped on a whole bunch of that action.
That's disappointing.
It's
disappointing to say the least.
I did make a wager on LSU in a parlay that never got close to hitting. So
I had a bunch of people over the weekend reach out. So I broke down the picks into the individual segments and put them on social media. And so a lot of people were betting the individual slides as parlays. I didn't intend for that to happen, but it was a happy accident because one of them hit.
Yep.
And a bunch of people had it.
Nice.
9-6. We started 0-2 in week 0. This preseason, we were playing backups. I was drunk. I don't really have a much better explanation. I was drunk on Florida State. Thought they were going to win. Thought Nevada was terrible. They're not.
Yep.
But now this week, boys and girls, this is where the rubber meets the road, because NFL Week 1, it's here.
Yep.
And a new season means new ways to get in on all the betting fun with our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You ready to make your first wager? Try betting on something simple. You can go touchdown scorer. You can do anything you want to, or you can bet straight up against the game numbers. And we will have all of those picks all week long at the end of the week. So, are you ready to get involved in the wagering yourself? Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet football. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers. Get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus premium on us. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
And Danny Finn's fan says he took you up on that 4-0 parlay on Saturday. So just listen at the end of every hour. Every day there's football. Jeremy's got the bangers for you here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
If you're listening to this Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance ad, there's a good chance that you're alive. And if you're not, well, this may not be of interest to you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life insurance, I'm going to live forever. Death is what happens to other people. Well, for the sake of argument, let's assume you're wrong, and that someday you won't be listening to the radio anymore. I know it's not easy to talk about, so I'll do the talking. If you're 50 plus and alive, or 50 to 75 in New York, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance regardless of your health. And since this life insurance is guaranteed, you don't have to get a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, visit GerberLifeFamily.com. Then when you stop, if you stop listening to the radio, your family can use the insurance money to help cover your final expenses or anything else. Your kids already inherited your ears, allergies, and questionable singing voice. Don't make them inherit your final expense tab too. Visit GerberLifeFamily.com. See website for terms and restrictions.
If you've ever thought about Botox treatment before, then your dentist might not be the first person that pops into your head. But at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they are dedicated to the treatment of TMJ, and they use Botox for that. Botox can also be used to treat headaches that come from people grinding their teeth or clenching their jaws when they are stressed. So if you have more questions about Botox and you want to see if it's a good option for you, check out Asheville Smiles online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
This football season, whether you're on the field chasing victory or cheering from the stands, Western Carolina orthopedic specialists are here to keep you in the game. From sports injuries to routine care, our team of experts delivers top-notch orthopedic and sports medicine care so you can stay strong all season long. Play hard. We've got your back. Western Carolina orthopedic specialists. Visit us online or call 828-452-4131. That's 828-452-4131.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We'll continue to see sunshine and beautiful weather. Talked about it last week, and everything is working right like we expected, or working out like we expected. Little breeze today, 75 should do it, mostly sunny. Tonight we will see some clouds roll in, 55, but no rain. Wednesday, partial sun, 75. Thursday, back to mostly sunny, 75. Friday, increasing clouds with maybe some late-day showers and a high of 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Bojangles. It's always bow time.
It's bow time. Some classics never go out of style, like fresh egg, American cheese, and hickory smoked bacon on a made-from-scratch biscuit. Get a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit with crispy bowl rounds and a hot coffee or medium drink for $5.99. Order in the app or at Bojangles. It's bow time.
We all know Goodwill. But did you know when you donate stuff to Goodwill, you help provide job training for people right here in your community? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, and the Sportsocracy is live in the Ingalls studio. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 on the terrestrial radio. Of course, we are heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. And, of course, we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat. You can get your super chats in as well. I feel like we've got several of those that we need to catch up on here in the chat.
And we appreciate you with those super chats more than we could ever say.
Yes, indeed.
Because you know what we learned definitively in week one of the Living the Dream tour? You run into a lot of things that you have to buy while you're on the road that you never thought about, not one time.
That'll do it.
6 separate times I went, hey, where's the blank? We don't have a blank. Oh, we need a blank.
Mm-hmm. We need to go get one of those.
Jeff Bezos made some dollars off of me Saturday.
Let's see here. Before we get into today's daily draft, I feel like we should catch up on all of these super chats. So first up, let's go to Generations. Said 3 things I learned this weekend. Miami's winning the ACC. The Georgia secondary is better than the Pats. And the Wyoming quarterback better start asking if you want fries with that.
If you want to know what he means by the Wyoming thing,
yeah.
I believe they had 2 quarterbacks that I think combined to go 8 of 21 with 2 interceptions for like 72 yards. in a full college football game.
Wow.
I don't have the full box score up in front of me. I can find it.
That's pretty brutal.
It was bad.
All right,
Bad.
So hey, maybe Wyoming can go get DJ Uiagalelei as a mid-year transfer.
You beat me to it. Wyoming, I can fix your problem. We have DJ Uiagalelei, and you can have him. I literally sat on College Football 25 last night. I started a dynasty with Florida State just to go, can I encourage you to transfer? Let me hit the button. You don't have any more eligibility. Yeah. I don't care.
Just cut him. Now you can fix their attributes and stuff. Now you can put him on like an actual 40 and just put him at the bottom of the depth chart.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna go in there and fix his attributes to what he's actually put on film. He's fitting to be at 24.
Yeah. We've got another one here from Matthew Hoffman who says, Michigan fan question, anything to be excited about for Texas?
How do I say this nicely? It physically can't last more than 3.5 hours. Because I have a weird feeling they are about to hurt your feelings.
Sorry about that.
The offense is just not good. I mean, and look, we knew it was a possibility because they had McCarthy and nothing else. I was shocked that the walk-on kid started, but I had heard a lot of that don't be so convinced that it's orgy.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. They struggled against Fresno State.
They did.
This is a bad early game to have to play. I told you this last week. These early season games, they're going the way of the dodo bird.
Yep. Number 9 versus number 3 this weekend. Texas jumping up to number 3 in the poll after Oregon fell down this week.
After they struggled with the University of Lasagna Taco Salads or whatever.
Didn't they play McDonald's University or something?
They played somebody very tiny. Texas is a 7.5-point favorite.
Let's see here. We've got
and it is at the Big House, and it's hard to go into the Big House and win. So if you want some hope, that could give you some hope.
Yeah! Another super chat here from Jason Quinones. He says, Tim team, 4-point passing touchdowns, 1 PPR. How does he look? He's got Mahomes, Barkley and Achane, St. Brown, Cup, Tank Dale, Kelsey at tight end, Aaron Jones in the flex, the Bears defense, and he's got Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler, Gus Edwards, and Josh Palmer.
Jason, I'm going to say this as nicely as I can. You either draft with children or you are the Bill Polian of fantasy football because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 guys in my top 40. That's hard to do.
That's pretty good.
If that's not a dynasty, I need to talk to your 9 league mates. Like we need to just
they messed up somewhere down
now,
the
if
line
that's
here.
a dynasty, you are the Zach Hurst of dynasty football, and we applaud you for that.
It's a pretty good starting roster. I mean, I would think they'd like to see another wide receiver in there better than Josh Palmer, but
Josh Palmer's your 4. I'm fine.
You're fine with that? Okay.
Trade Jerome Ford in 3 weeks when Nick Chubb comes back.
Yes, indeed. We should trade him, in 2 weeks, right before Nick Chubb comes back, so he's got some value.
Or trade him now to who owns Nick Chubb for a receiver, because he'll probably do it.
That's not a bad plan either. Yeah! And then finally here, Sir Jimothy says, golf tournament on September 13th to help vets. Slots are open. Just shoot him a message in the YouTube chat.
Sir Jimothy, shoot me a message because depending on the time of that, I might be able to play in it, and I would love to.
There you go.
See, I agreed to do that sober. All right, so all of you people that
did you? I mean, all I heard was you agreed to play in it. I didn't hear you agree to play sober.
No, I agreed to play in it whilst I was sober. You don't have to feed me alcohol to get me to agree to things.
Gotcha.
It happened 2 times this weekend, and I would have said yes anyway. Okay.
Then what are we talking about?
I would have said yes anyway. You didn't have to bring a table platter full of shots to my table that I wound up taking half of.
Exactly.
And then we had one more that you missed from our buddy Bo Walker.
Oh, did I? I apologize.
Yes, you'll have to download the DraftKings app. So that is the DraftKings Fantasy DFS app, which is different from the Sportsbook app. 2 different apps. For Battle for the Belt. The contest is created. I am desperately trying to wait as long as I can because I have all of your email addresses. I have to go in and add you manually one by one after that. So anybody that wants to get in for Battle of the Belt, you want to do it today? Today's a great day to do it. Because the more of you that get in now, the less of you that on Sunday morning, I'll be sitting here going, okay, your email address is 17 characters that don't make any sense together.
Yes. Please don't wait until Sunday morning to try to get in on the contest. Do it as soon as possible.
We have a bunch of shout-outs for that we will do at the end of the program.
Yes. All right. You ready to jump into the daily draft?
Yes, but I have a rule.
Okay. What's your rule?
You can't take the ACC on the whole.
Okay.
You have to take ACC teams individually.
Okay. Because that is one big cheat code. You could ruin the draft for everybody.
Whoever had the number 1 pick, you just won immediately. Because you got 3 of the top 5 like that.
Yep. All right, you giving me first pick? Or
Sure.
All right, I'll go first pick. My winners, losers of the weekend. I'm going Dabo Swinney because I know he's not coming back to me.
No.
And he's got to be on my poo list here. As we've been talking about this for a while, that the downfall is coming, and it was on full display at the Aflac kickoff game down in Atlanta. Georgia ran all over you, and there was nothing that could be done. Defense did as best job as that they could to keep it close as long as they could, and then obviously second half, defense got tired. Offense started taking shots down the field. They couldn't keep up, and they manhandled you 34-3 and embarrassed you on national television. And now, you've got some real problems to think about down there in Death Valley.
They outgained you 447-188. And that's
pitiful,
pathetic,
pitiful.
You also were barely penalized, and you only had 1 turnover, and you still got beat that bad. That's not easy to do.
No, there should not be, and this is what every ACC fan, every Clemson fan should be screaming from the high heavens right now. There should not be that big of a gap between the best in the SEC and the best in the ACC.
Well, Clemson's not the best in the ACC,
but they're supposed to be. But they want to be. Right, that's where we need to be. We should be ruling this, and we should not be this far behind. First off, I don't even know that we're the best in the conference. In fact, I don't think that you're the best in the conference. And you're nowhere close to competing anywhere else in the Power 5.
I will say this is, I would be scared of what Ole Miss would do to Clemson. They might beat you 70-0. Because you just can't hang with them. They're going to play fast. Georgia wrote the book on how to beat Clemson. Grind down the defense. Have no fear of the offense. Send the hellhounds at Cade Klubnik because he struggled with that a lot.
Yep.
That's a solid first selection from you. I don't feel like I have to take Billy Napier this high because his stock really didn't go down that far. It was just already bad. He was like a 7-cent penny stock, and he went down to 5. Yeah, that is roughly 30% of your net worth, but you didn't lose much. So I will go Mike Norvell. Stock down. I can't fathom how any coach saw this all off season long and went, we're good. To the point, because you couldn't be this bad in practices and have been better, or are in games and been better than this in practices. DJ Uiagalelei can't play catch. I mean, we're talking like 50 Cent throwing out the first pitch at a Mets game bad. And I don't understand how we got here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel bad for a lot of these guys on this team. I feel like Florida State has set themselves back 5 years easily in the last 2 weeks. Because all the momentum you had, it's all gone. Every bit of every good thing that happened last year, it's all dead.
No. You're a laughing stock.
Yes.
You came in as a top 10 team. You dropped your first 2 games of the season, the first top 10 team to ever do that since we've been taking preseason rankings.
Which is shocking that we had never done that at any point.
No. Florida State 0-2, and you got nobody on your side.
No.
After these last 2 games, nobody's on your side.
No, now you're looking.
No votes received in the poll this week.
And you shouldn't have.
No, you shouldn't have.
And you shouldn't.
But I'm just saying, to go from top 10 to completely out and nobody's voting for you is pitiful.
It's hard to do. You know, I don't know that this would come back, and I really want it. So I'm going to go stock up because for me, it's really hard to find stock ups this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stock up Notre Dame. You went into Kyle Field, and the score is a little misleading. They scored late, kicked field goal late. Texas A&M had the ball with a chance to tie it, but the defense just absolutely suffocated Texas A&M. We listened to this game for, a half? I don't think I heard Texas A&M with a positive play. They had 100 yards passing. All those people that were telling me I was sleeping on Connor Wegman, you still feel that way?
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't.
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't.
He was 12 of 30 for 100 yards and 2 interceptions. Riley Leonard wasn't that much better. He just didn't turn it over.
Right.
And Notre Dame absolutely ran the ball down Texas A&M's throat. I think it was the biggest shock of the weekend to me. I figured this would be low scoring. I had the under. But I'm shocked Notre Dame moved the ball on the ground as easily against Mike Elko as they did.
Yep. All right.
And now if you look forward to Notre Dame, when exactly is it that you think they're going to lose? Have you seen their schedule? I think I did this last week. Northern Illinois, Purdue, Miami of Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State, Virginia, Army, USC. You don't have another game you could lose until USC.
Mm-hmm.
USC was one that I seriously considered here. Notre Dame is the first team to punch their ticket to the college football playoff because they're going to be there. And the quicker you become okay with that, the better.
Yep.
Now, they can't get a bye because they're not in a conference, which is dumb. How did we not come up with something for that? We just trying to force Notre Dame into a conference?
Yes, we are. It's the way it needs to be.
They should join the ACC. They'll win it every year for the next 25 years.
You might think so. All right, my next one's going to be a stock up from the weekend. We saw it on Sunday night, and it's Miller Moss. Just the way that he was able to come in and just kind of carve up that defense of LSU. It was really good. And then he had a pretty fun little interview on the halftime show last night of the Florida State game, where he didn't bother to dress up at all for that. And I think he was a little offended when the host of the halftime show was like, "You got that bum quarterback look down to a T," and he went, "Okay, yeah, I guess that was a compliment. Thanks, I appreciate it."
Didn't feel like a compliment
because he was just wearing the hoodie. He had the hair all disheveled and he was all slumped back in his chair. It was just like it wasn't. I don't know. Didn't feel very, very professional. Anyway. Not that it needs to be, because he is a college quarterback. Exactly. He's a college quarterback, and I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just saying I think he felt a little slighted that they called him out on that.
Did you see his career stat line?
His career stat line?
Well, he's been at USC for 4 years.
Yes. I'm looking at it right now.
93 of 128.
Yep.
1,292 yards.
Mm-hmm.
10 touchdowns and an interception.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
No.
Oh, and he also has the USC record for passing yards in a bowl game. Pretty strong for a guy that's played in a grand total of 13 games in his life.
Yep. 27 of 36 against the LSU Tigers, 378 yards passing and a touchdown. And you know what? USC might be something. They might just be a threat.
I'm a draft guy, so I kind of have to say this. Don't be shocked if the talk on him starts getting louder.
Really?
With what USC plays coming up, they get that Michigan defense, which if he's able to really produce against that, you basically play nobody that can threaten you until you play Penn State. So you could have a real big 5-game hype train with two signature wins potentially. That would make, especially looking at Carson Beck, looking at Shedeur Sanders, he didn't get much from Quinn Ewers because of level of competition, but there's no real consensus. And that opens the door for a guy to swoop in and be the darling. And it could happen quick.
Yep. Next stock up for me is the Miami Hurricanes.
Is it?
I came out of this week.
Is that a stock up really, though?
Yes.
I don't think it is.
Why?
I think all of you are overreacting to this. Florida is awful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you have diminished Ole Miss over Furman for 3 straight days with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no more impressed by what Miami did than by what Ole Miss did. That's how bad Florida actually is. I've heard stories about this all offseason. I've told you this over and over and over again. They are god. This is like South Carolina Lou Holtz territory.
Mm-hmm. Miami doesn't just get – because I do give you credit for coming in and handling your opponent pretty nicely.
You didn't for a half. And I'd be really curious as to why.
Well, maybe. Sometimes the hell Georgia has done that before. Come in and just play with a team, be up by 7 at halftime, and then blow them out in the second half. We've seen that a lot.
They weren't playing with them.
Who?
You were driving. I watched the whole first half.
Mm-hmm.
I at no point. I did think a couple times, Miami, all they have to do is not fall down, and you're the ACC champion, because I don't think anybody could contend with you.
Precisely.
That doesn't mean you're a threat to anything. See, for me to be a stock up, I'd have to be really impressed by what Miami did,
mm-hmm.
and I'm not. And you're not really going to get many opportunities to impress.
Yep.
For me, the biggest pain for Miami is your schedule has fallen off the ocean, because every game you thought you were getting against teams that could boost your resume, they've all crashed and burned. That was the reason I didn't take them.
I don't need a resume booster, though.
Yeah, you do. Because you don't want to have to play 4 games. That team's not built for that. That team is thin.
Are we winning the ACC?
Yes, but I can't guarantee you that that's going to put you in the top. I can't guarantee you that you're not going to get bumped out by one of these group of fives, because some of these group of 5 conferences, I could make the argument they're better than the ACC. I could make the argument right now that there are G5 conferences that are better.
Who?
The American. I'd take them. If you did an American ACC clash, I'll take the American right now.
With Memphis and who else?
Oh, they have several that are not – I'm not saying they're national powers.
Right.
I don't think you understand how bad the ACC is.
Well, see, and that also is part of why this is a stock up for Miami. Because are you Clemson? No. Are you Florida State? No. Are you Carolina, who doesn't have a quarterback? Are you NC State, who didn't look good against Western Carolina for a half? They're the only ACC team that did not have that, oh, my God, what the hell is happening moment.
Yeah, you're also looking at that in a completely different way than I am. That means you don't have a blip. You're going to win this conference, and you ain't getting in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lose to any of these teams, you will get hammered. It's not beneficial for your conference to suck. I don't care that you get in just because you want it. That's not a benefit to you. That's why I could not take Miami.
Yeah.
You did what you were supposed to do. You also lost any mulligan you could have ever had, because your conference is god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've been doing this daily draft for how long?
Yep.
We've been doing it 2 years.
Something like that.
I've never put on a caveat of you can't take a whole conference, because it's literally unfair. That's how bad this weekend was.
It was pretty
you
pitiful.
You did.
You're in the Sportsocracy. And this is ESPN Asheville, the Daily Draft. Brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Continues next.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount Football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field, E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free White Out t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dales available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dales salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
We are back in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, the Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. So far in the Daily Draft, winners and losers from the weekend. I got Dabo Swinney, the Clemson Tigers, stock down first up. Then I went Miller Moss, the quarterback out of USC, stock up. And the Miami Hurricanes stock up for me because they walked out of this weekend to me as the no doubt ACC champions, and that secures you a spot in the playoff. Jeremy's going stock down for Mike Norvell and a stock up for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who pulled off the win on the road at Kyle Field against Texas A&M. What's your next choice in today's Daily Draft?
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I am. I'm going to go stock up Lincoln Riley.
Okay. Prove something to you yesterday?
It's not that he proved something to me. It's that, all right, I went in with very little faith in USC, and I'm not going to lie to you, I still don't have any faith in them. I think offensively you're good. Defensively, when you come up against a little bit stronger competition, and you're going to, that may unveil that defense a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you were willing to do what the Dabos and the Mike Norvells are not, which is fire a guy because you have let me down and replace him with DeAnton Lynn, that really speaks volumes to me. And that LSU win alleviates a lot of questions we had about him. That's a huge statement win for that university first year in the Big Ten. I know that's an SEC school they beat. I get it. And this may not go well, but that win buys you a good bit of platitude. I have so many bads. And it is you know what? I'm going to go stock down Michigan.
Okay.
Because you just basically walked into everything that people like me thought, which was Jim Harbaugh's going to leave. Sharon Moore, the offense is just not set up to succeed. And it's not. You didn't run it well. You just ran it a lot. You didn't throw it well at all, and that was against Fresno State. And now you got to take on Texas. I'm shocked they're not more of a dog to Texas than they are. And I get it. The defense is good. Texas is not going to play around with you. They want this to be a statement game. Because I would wager that Steve Sarkisian saw the same thing out of Georgia that I did, which is you're more vulnerable than you have been, I would say, in the last handful of years. Because you just really haven't had that playmaker separate themselves yet. And I feel like Texas has a chance to win a national title. I don't think that's even spicy at this point. And they're going to come out and try to hang half 100 on you. That's their goal. They want to beat you and beat you savagely. And you open the door. You struggle with Fresno State for 3 full quarters. And I would be – do you know what the FPI predictor says on this game? It's at Michigan. It gives them what percentage chance to win this game?
27.
You missed it by 0.8 of a point. It's 26.2.
Oh. Yeah.
And I don't disagree with them.
No, it's exactly where Michigan was supposed to be. Right, losing what you lost last year, you losing the coach and everything. Nobody really projected you to be. I don't want to say a contender because yes, you're still a contender, I guess, if you're inside the top 4 in your conference. But you're a tier behind Ohio State at the top. Right, you're a tier behind, or were a tier behind my next selection.
Oh, it also doesn't help that you watched Ohio State and you just went, oh, good. They have another unbelievable, probably future top 5 pick at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to include that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Jeremiah Smith. He's real good at football. Like, real good at football.
Shocker of shockers. Another good athlete going to Ohio State. My stock down, next stock down, is Oregon. 24-14 against Idaho. There were a few long, empty drives in that game. It's just, you were expected, again, ranked preseason number 3 in the country. That's a team that you're supposed to beat the snot out of. You just couldn't get into the end zone.
Nope.
Dylan Gabriel came out and, he was good, right? He only threw 8 incomplete passes in the entire game. Threw for 380 yards. He should have 6 touchdowns, and y'all should have won this game 70-14.
That's one of the craziest box scores you'll ever see. That Oregon needed a late touchdown to make it even a 10-point game.
Yeah.
They gave up 217 yards total. That's it. You just could not score.
And that's bad news against Idaho.
Look, Idaho
vandalizing things.
I mean, they don't. I can't remember that coach's name. They used to have a coach that just. I mean, he sounded like a dude that was fun at parties.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone, but it's not a terrible school.
Still a terrible fact that you only beat them by 10.
Yes,
and you're supposed to be a top 3 team in the country. That's bad news bears right there. And if you rally and just beat the hell out of everybody else you play on your schedule, chances are we're not really going to remember this.
No, that's why I couldn't go Oregon Stockdale.
But if you come out and play it closer than you're supposed to with Boise State, that could be an issue. Can they stop the run? Because the Boise State running back, I almost want to make him my next stock up.
Ashton Jeanty.
That guy went absolutely nanners over the weekend. But I'm going to go back stock up here, and I am going to take a guy that went just absolutely nanners. And you might hate me for this, Jeremy. But I'm taking your guy, Titaroa McMillan.
That's solid.
He's pretty good at the football.
Yeah.
And I get that Arizona was playing, Montana State? Is that who they were playing?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. They were playing New Mexico. That's right. He caught 10 balls for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. This is a guy who through the entire offseason, every time we talked about teams that you weren't paying attention to, Jeremy always brought up, you should pay attention to the Arizona Wildcats because they've got a couple of good players that are going to go real high in this draft.
Oh, yeah, I did figure out why nobody was giving them love, though.
What is that?
I watched that game film while I was trying to go to sleep last night after, the devastation that was Florida State. They do have 4 high-end draft prospects. They have a really good college quarterback. The problem is that all of those play offense and none of them play defense because their defense sucks. They're going to have to score 60 points. They have 39 points to New Mexico.
Yes. And that's a team that lost to Montana State.
Yeah, they're bad. The only other 0-2 team in college football. New Mexico and my Florida State Seminoles.
No.
Oh, God, people wonder why I drink. That's why. Does that ever happen to your teams? Because it never happened to anybody else ever.
Bronco Mendenhall lighting it up for the Montana State Bobcats.
Is he the coach at Montana
He
State?
is the new head coach there.
I did not know that.
They are 2-0 on the season.
Does that mean it's my turn?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to cheat. Because I don't have a whole lot more that I want to bury here.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 2 stock ups. 2 things that are probably not mentioned on the show many more times this year. We're going college game day. Let's go. Look at you trending doing something with shirtless McAfee and angry Nick Saban. I think game day is so good at this point. This is like golden age of game day for me. And I had no clue what they were going to do after Corso. And I think we figured it out. It's pretty obvious. And my other one's a stock up to Clark Lay and the Vanderbilt Commodores. Look at you getting a win. I mean, you're down here doing stuff. You beat a team that I could spell. Let's go. You don't do that, but every couple of years, beating Virginia. You remember when all of you tried to tell me that was a competitor in the ACC, and I went, are you smoking crack? There's a reason that I said that. Mm-hmm. But they return everybody. Yeah, but everybody sucks. Like it's
but they're still not good.
They have to be good for you to want to return. Like Florida State, hey, they can return everybody next year. I don't want to. You're bad.
Speaking of turds, what happened to your fan that said he was going to do stuff if they lost?
Oh, the guy that was going to eat the poo?
Yeah.
He deleted it.
No.
And we should shame him.
Absolutely.
Shame him. shame.
Every Philadelphia Eagles fan is just shaking their heads right now like, come on, dude. We did it.
Why do people do that?
Because they're idiots.
Oh, I'll eat dog poo. What's the upside of that? Did you get like $1 if they didn't? No. No, you got publicly shamed when they lost.
Yes.
No upside, bruh.
Oh, and it's on me for the final selection. All right.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going stock down, and I'm going back to your team.
There's more?
DJ.
No.
DJ gets his own.
He's not even on the board. At this point, he's unbettable. There is no stock.
Yeah. DJ gets his own because there's no hope now.
He should be taking up stock in Carhartt overalls because he's going to be sweeping a floor somewhere.
After week 1, it was bad. I mean, by halftime last night, I was going to be surprised, or I would not have been surprised if he just didn't come back out for the second half.
Oh, we were talking.
By the time he threw that interception, I didn't know that they were going to make it to the locker room because the boos were so loud there in Doak Campbell Stadium. Is that right? Doak Campbell? All right. I always mix that up in Doak Walker.
Doak Walker's the running back, Doak Campbell's Florida State Stadium.
Right. I wasn't sure that there wasn't just going to be a Tennessee episode where they're going to start throwing mustard bottles on the field.
No, we have more class than
that. DJ Uiagalelei. He is my final stock down.
Florida State's not a place that you want to see fans start throwing things. If you've ever been there, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I had to give our parking pass to a fan that's going to that game because I did forward think and actually get a parking pass for that.
Yep.
Because you want to park close to that stadium, especially when they're bad. It's not in the greatest section of town.
Let's see what you're saying. All right. Well, I mean, if they continue to be bad, parking close to the stadium won't be a problem.
They might let you park on the 40-yard line if they lose to Memphis this week. You may not even need a parking pass. Just, you know what? Drive your truck up to the back, and we'll just let you in the back door.
They lose to Memphis this week. That might be the first time we just have a program shut it down.
Nope, we're not losing anymore.
Nope. We have decided to call an end to this season due to the injustices forced upon us by Mike Norvell.
I do go back to our old buddy Tommy Bradley, who said, I do stand up for this silent protest if we're just not going to win a game due to last year's injustice.
Yep.
We stand with you, Seminoles.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. NFL Week 1 is here. The new season means that you can get in on new ways to play with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Are you ready to place that first bet of the season? Lots of lines intriguing for this upcoming week. We've got a 3-point spread on the opening game on Thursday night between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. You don't have to get into spreads and all that, though. If you're new to the game, all you got to do, you can just bet on a simple touchdown. You can find lines on every player to score this week. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium on us. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We'll continue to see sunshine and beautiful weather. Talked about it last week, and everything is working right like we expected, or working out.
.com/terms. touchdown of the NFL. Are you ready to ESPN Asheville 92? The new season means that and 1400 NFL Week 1 is here.
to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, are you having a good time?
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town, packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real, in the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. And it is week 1 of the NFL season. Week 1 of college football's in the books. Now it's time to kick off the real season. The NFL season all gets underway Thursday night. We've got the opening game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday night. So, obviously, you'll want to tune in here for the bangers.
So many bangers.
So, well, I mean, Thursday there will only be that.
No, there will be many bangers.
Well, we don't have college football on Thursday.
I'm aware.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew that or not. I was looking at the schedule earlier today and saw that there were only games on Friday.
He asked if I didn't. If I knew that. The guy that bet on Russian table tennis during COVID, did I know that there aren't college games on Thursday? I think I did.
Just making sure. Did you know we got Thursday game?
I was betting on the Georgia guys. Hey, what's in that very nice crystal bulldog head that you're have that little hookah attached to? Hey, I'll bet you what's in there. 'Cause I bet I know.
We've got a game on Friday. Yeah. We got the full slate on Sunday. And we got Monday Night Football this week, starring your New York Football Jets.
It's here. It's here. Next 2 days will be exclusively NFL football.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be answering the biggest questions for each team ahead of the 2024 NFL season. We thank Vincent Collier for that question. Look, during football season, especially on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we don't have power rankings because nobody's played since the last time we did them. Those will start next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So when we see a layup, we'll take that there layup.
Yep. Yep, biggest remaining question for all the NFL teams.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told all those dudes that were posting comments on my wife and her friend. They went to the beach while we were going to Atlanta. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told all those dudes that were shooting their shot on social media. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So you take your shot, King. Take your shot.
Hey, you may not like how that works out.
I got blocked like 11 times.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Saw the big, gigantic guy that was married to one of them, like, oh, he pays better attention than I thought.
Looking around the NFL news cycle today, looks like Trent Williams and the San Francisco 49ers have come to an agreement.
It was never not going to go that way.
On a deal.
After you paid Brandon Ayuk, you didn't have a choice. Oh, we're going to hardline stand. What, that you're not going to be the best left tackle in the league? Bet you do.
Any ideas where you think that falls in at?
A lot. He'll be the highest paid tackle in the league. That's what he wanted. So I don't think he caved on that. This is his last bite at the apple. He's going to get every cent he can get. I mean, look, why wouldn't I? You're willing to pay everybody else. Why in the world would I take a discount? I'm the oldest guy on this team. No, you'll pay me full freight.
Mm-hmm. Hassan Reddick continuing to hold out.
Conversation probation.
Nope. Oh, you're not. We're not talking about that.
I don't care. Nothing in that story has changed. It doesn't matter to me. In my head, you're not on this team. We'll see you next year. We're going to arbitrate your deal.
Mm-hmm. I did like the quote from Rob Salah where he said, well, when he shows, and he did say when, so he feels like he's going to show up. He says like finding loose change in the couch cushions. I guess because you don't really need him, right? You've got a ferocious pass rush without him.
Yeah, you haven't
had him. And if he shows
offseason.
up, that's found money.
Now, I probably wouldn't have gone loose change. I would have said it was like finding a 50 in a jacket pocket, but Robert has not always been the best with his Rob buddy.
Yeah.
Leave the metaphors to me. Okay.
I'm
good at this. You're not great at this.
Are you concerned about the Jamar Chase situation?
No.
That was last week where Zach Taylor said, "Oh, he's going to be good. He's going to come out and practice," and he did. And then he said that, and he's all going to be ready to go week 1. And then I don't think he's been back to practice since.
Yeah, I don't. Even if he misses week 1, I don't care. You're going to get that deal done because you have to.
Right.
Cincinnati's in basically the same boat San Francisco is of, well, here's the thing. You've ponied up on everybody else, so why in the world would I think you're not going to do it now? The one that arguably would make the least sense. That's the one you're going to draw the line on? Okay, then. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep. But as all the teams get ready for week 1, we will, like Jeremy said, be answering the biggest remaining question for all of the teams as we head through this week.
We have a big remaining question of we need the Shane O'Mac music.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's for Jacob Eckel, John Price, Fred Walker, Toby Anderson, and Morgan Sawyer. And actually, I believe that's Zach Sawyer. All in to battle for the belt. I cannot implore you enough. Please don't do this on Sunday. Please don't do that to me. Because we have a fantasy show on Sunday. We're driving back from Charlotte. All of the different moving pieces. I don't want somebody to pay and then get left out. At some point this week, that's enough. Because the contest starts on Sunday. We run the stereotypical millionaire Sunday bulk slate. And you don't have to pay for the year. You get a few weeks for free if you do. And you get your name on the shirt from Mountain Graphics. But you don't have to. Just if you want to play, make sure we know that.
Mm-hmm. Get in now on the Battle for the Belt. We've got the link up all over the place on our social medias. You can find it in the YouTube chat as well. Battle for the Belt weekly contest this week. You can pay for the whole season, but it will be a week in, week out daily fantasy contest. And we're going to have some fun.
Also, we're going to talk about it on the show. Mm-hmm. We have a little surprise for Thursday. something that people ask that we have been cobbling together. We'll actually probably be able to announce that tomorrow. But it's football season. This is the best time. I've been happy for even with Florida State 0-2, I've still been happy for 15 days.
Yeah. Last night, last night was the first time that I had gotten to actually sit down and try to enjoy a game with not being there in person and just kind of being in my own environment, watching a game. And I'm sad that it had to be Florida State getting trounced by Boston College for that to happen, but couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Well, the good news is you don't have to watch another Florida State game all year. So
very true. Very true. Not going to be worth paying much attention to.
I love when trash takes itself out, which that team is garbage.
They are indeed. Living the Dream Tour will continue this weekend as we are heading off with Ingles Supermarkets, Parks Ford, Hendersonville, Dale's Pale Ale, and Clarissa Sells, WNC.com, NC State and Tennessee at Bank of America Stadium. Get the Wolfpack against the Volunteers. And the Wolfpack, you're going to have to come out the gate better than you did against Western Carolina to have a fighting chance against the Vols in this one. Talk more about it as the game gets closer throughout the week here in the Sportsocracy. Again, hit up the social medias, get those links for the Battle for the Belt. The sooner the better for the organizational purposes of that, for you to get in on the contest. And football season has finally arrived.
It's here. It's so good. And it's 2 sleeps, people. It is 2 sleeps. You got a Tuesday sleep, you got a Wednesday sleep, you got Thursday night football. Let's go.
Jonah, join us tomorrow as we continue our build-up to the NFL season with the biggest remaining questions for all of the NFL teams. Yours will be covered right here. We'll see you back here at noon tomorrow on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and, of course, on the iHeart Radio app.
Hey there. Gerber Life would like to talk to you about the importance of guaranteed life insurance for when you...
No, thank you.
I get it. Nobody likes to think about life insurance because it means having to think about the end of... So I'll make this short and sweet. If you're 50 plus or 50 to 75 in New York, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance regardless of your health. Guaranteed acceptance means you don't need a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, just visit GerberLifeFamily.com. Then, when that thing you don't want to think about does eventually happen, and you know it will,
I'm not listening.
Your family can use the insurance money to help cover the cost of your final expenses, or anything else. Now that's worth thinking about. Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance. For a free quote, visit GerberLifeFamily.com today. See website for terms and restrictions.
Summit Dental gives you dental visits without the anxiety. Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and that's what they did for me. You know, your comfort is their priority, and they do all they can to put you at ease and personalize that experience. Summit Dental's complimentary comfort menu includes items like aromatherapy, heated neck wraps, and blankets. Dr. Reinhardt and his staff make your dental experience comfortable and one that you understand, moving at your pace and letting you know what they're doing before they do it. Learn more about why Summit Dental is 5-star rated on Google.
iHeartMedia Asheville can't wait to bring you Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare, Saturday, September 14th at Carrier Park. Asheville, this is your opportunity to gather with your community's healthcare workers and show them the love. Live music, food, and beer trucks, and great prizes. Healthcare workers, be sure to bring something to show you work in healthcare for grand prize eligibility. Free and open to the public. Bring your lawn chairs and feel the love. iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare and Mission Health. Details at showlovefest.com.
We all know Goodwill, but did you know when you donate stuff to Goodwill, you help provide job training for people right here in your community? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it.
Allow me to introduce myself. Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest,
He took you up on that 4-0 parlay.
.co/FT. Additional NFL Plus pre at NFL.com/terms.
And Danny Finn's fan says he took you up on that 4-0 parlay.
Are you ready to get involved in the wagering yourself? Score big with DraftKings. But now this week, boys and girls, this is where the rubber meets the road, because NFL Week 1, it's here.
Yep.
And a new
Ingalls. Low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate,
terms and conditions apply.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingalls. Chips and guac made
880 AM and 1400.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing?
It's time to kick off the
1,000 fans get a
and Mountain Graphics
Asheville.
Showtime.
Not more vehemently disagree with you.
You're in the Sportsocracy. And this is ESPN Asheville.
If you're listening to this,
Live from the Ingalls studio.
On ESPN Asheville.
if you're listening to this Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance ad, there's a good chance that you're alive.
The group that
the need is even greater.
Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA.
It's time.
When you're ready to go back in the
At showlovefest.com.
When you're ready to go back in the day, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Check out the all.
See, this is CS.
Available homes for sale.
The Dales.
On is drunk driving. Don't drive.
Phones aren't.
ESPN Asheville. This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't.
.com today. See website for terms and restrictions. Thinking about.
Purposes of that for you to get in on the contest, and football season has finally arrived. Purposes of that.
Sleep. You got a Wednesday sleep. You got Thursday off.
For when you.
And of course on the iHeart Radio app.
Hey there. Gerber Life would like to talk to you about the importance of guaranteed life insurance for when you.
A vote now.
Message and data rate.
Reliable, safe services, and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community.
Don't miss our 20.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingalls. Chips and guac made fresh.
You takes on Campbell.
Love the savings. The best meat in town.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the catamount football.
Salutes freedom. That's next. This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom.
Live from
I mean, it's crazy to think about it. Like, it used to cost millions to advertise on TV, and now, because of streaming, even with $50, I mean, you can advertise on TV. You can advertise between your favorite TV shows. You can advertise on live sports game, NHL, NBA, whatever. Just for $50. I mean, any brand can do it. It's a game changer. It's a massive game changer. Any brand should be advertising on TV right now, and should.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey, we're How Ridiculous, 3 childhood friends and digital content creators that do epic stuff from Perth, Australia.
We've got about 50 million followers. We're in the billions of views, and we're a small team. We always felt like our content was all about entertainment and being fun, but there was also this, sort of professional business side. One of the things that we knew was basically essential was getting our own website, so people would actually...
Silent strength. He lay you down amongst the wildflowers. You experienced love like never before. While you were buying dish soap. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover heart-stopping romance titles on Audible.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.